Tomorrow, cloud, sun mix with a high of 79. And for now, I'll keep the showers out of the forecast. Wednesday, a few showers, highs only in the low 70s. From a Weather Channel, I'm Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by Discover. We could talk about how complicated other banks make it to redeem credit card rewards. Or we could talk about how with Discover, you can redeem your rewards for cash in any amount at any time. Talk about amazing. Learn more at discover.com/redeem rewards. Terms apply.
I had low back pain that was due to herniated discs.
Meet Dr. Justin Garzone, another satisfied patient who found regenerative medicine at QC Kinetics.
Over a very short period of time, the pain went away completely, and I have had absolutely no symptoms or pain since my treatment.
Before Dr. Garzone found QC Kinetics, he was looking at all the old school pain treatments.
It was recommended that I have steroid injections done, but then unfortunately my insurance company said that I would have to do 3 months of physical therapy first, and I needed to get better quickly.
With QC Kinetics, the doctor got lasting relief with no downtime.
I didn't have to take any medications during my treatment. I avoided surgery, and I am now pain-free.
Don't live with chronic pain, and don't go under the knife. Call QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine, for a free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517.
Every search you make, every click you take, they'll be watching you.
Are you tired of companies like Google and Facebook watching you? There's actually a simple solution. Download the DuckDuckGo app today. DuckDuckGo. Privacy simplified.
The Night Race. It's as American as Uncle Sam deadlifting 350 while drinking a Busch Light outside his camper in a national park. It's as American as Earnhardt rattling Terry's cage. It's the Bass Pro Shops Night Race at Bristol Motor Speedway. And it's a cutoff race in the NASCAR playoffs. You remember what happened last year, right? Be there September 17th. Go to bristolmotorspeedway.com and get your tickets before they're gone. Can I get a hell yeah?
Staples has everything for school at great prices. So this year you won't go back to school. You'll be ready to move forward and build that papier-mâché volcano.
I am not cleaning this up.
Ooh, yeah, I meant the kids. Staples will help them move forward. Right now, Crayola 24-count crayons and 4-ounce Elmer's glue are just 50 cents each, and 1-inch binders are only $1.99. Everything on your list at amazing prices. Staples, we're not going back. We're going forward to school. Ends 8/27 in-store only, limit 30.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
As a marketer, you want to reach everyone, adults, teens, millennials, but it's not like these groups all hang out in the same place, right? Actually wrong. They're all right here, listening to radio commercials just like this one. Radio ads connect with 93% of Americans every week. That's more than Google, more than Facebook, more than TV. In fact, radio reaches 20% more millennials than TV. Want more of the people you want to talk to all in one place? Visit iHeartAdvertising.com and get AM/FM working for you. That's iHeartAdvertising.com.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
I'm Doug Brown with breaking news. Chris Woodward is out as manager of the Texas Rangers. In Woodward's 4th season, the team is 12 games under 500. Third base coach Tony Beasley takes over for the rest of the season. Yankees second baseman DJ LeMahieu will get an MRI today on his right big toe. He had a cortisone shot in that toe over the All-Star break. The Yankees open a 3-game series with the Rays tonight. This just in, Hall of Fame basketball coach Pete Carrill, the creator of the Princeton offense, has died at age 92. During an interview with Fox 32 Chicago, Giannis Antetokounmpo of the Bucks says he might want to play for the Bulls someday.
It's a team that won multiple championships. It's a team that one of the greatest players, if not the greatest player, to ever play this game played for. So it's a no-brainer. Everybody would love to play for Chicago.
Giannis points out, though, he's committed to Milwaukee. He has 4 years left on his contract. Texas wins the Little League World Series softball title, beating Maryland 5-4.
Do you own or rent your home? Sure you do. Fortunately, Geico makes it easy to bundle your home and car insurance. It's a good thing, too, because having a home is hard work. Go to geico.com, get a quote, and see how much you could save. Geico.com. Easy.
In the heart of Beer City, USA, two men, one journey to create a sports show unlike any other. Unfiltered, raw, and honest. One of them played a soccer goalie opposite Ben Stiller. The other once scored 6 points on Steph Curry. These guys know their shit. Let's go! Tank Spencer, Jeremy Greene, the Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets. Low prices, love the savings. And Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
And welcome into the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. You can also hear us everywhere on the iHeartRadio app, and you can see us on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click on that live video link. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you get all the alerts when we go live, and it gets you into the conversation in the chat.
And I only have one question for all of the wonderful listeners of this show. How many of you took me up on my preseason bangers?
Preseason football bangers. He was 5-1, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's go!
On the Friday night games in
and you know who
week
got
1.
Me? Stupid Frank Reich. Stupid Frank Reich.
Stupid Frank Reich. Why?
If you're going to play your starter for a quarter and a half, you don't lose to a bunch of guys that'll be working at Home Depot in 3 weeks. Stupid. No.
I've never seen somebody get so animated about preseason football before.
Well, I may or may not have had a parlay banger on all of my preseason picks.
See, we eventually get down to the actual reason for Jeremy's ire.
It's always money. It's never anything else. It's not because somebody didn't give me a hug.
How did you feel about your team after the first preseason game? Of course, Raiders and Jaguars, y'all have had 2 games now. But most of us NFL fans have had 1 game now to see something about our team.
I've had my first good Jet shower cry.
Well, yeah,
it's always good when you get that out of the way in August.
Old Zach Wilson goes down.
Just let the shower hit me in the head and just cry. Jets just in this.
Yep. He's already done with the season, apparently. Zach Wilson injured in the first preseason game for the New York Jets.
Oh, I'm going to go on on a whale of a tirade about that.
We'll talk about that coming up later on in the hour. We'll also talk, basically it's all just reactions and overreactions from week 1 of the NFL's preseason.
Because there are things you can glean from what you saw.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you have to cull certain things because certain things don't mean squat.
Right. I mean, everybody flips out over the quarterback play, namely, Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, Justin Fields was bad.
Well, I mean, was he that bad, or was it because of his offensive line?
100% he was that bad, and I reckon you ought to get used to it.
Jalen Hurts, Trey Lance.
Lance was not bad.
Malik Willis, who else had a great game where they're going, oh my God, Kenny Pickett. I've seen people, Kenny Pickett needs to be the starter.
I actually think there was one person wearing a McDonald's uniform under their jersey because they had to go to work after Kenny Pickett was done slinging darts. They had to go work the drive-thru at the Mickey D's.
Right.
Calm down.
Overreactions and reactions from week 1 of the NFL preseason. Plus, we got a daily draft coming up at the top of the 3rd hour, as we always do. And today we're going off the sports beat here. Something apparently has stuck in Jeremy's craw. He wants to draft breakfast cereals.
100%, because the number 1 no doubt pick is out and available right now.
Really?
Yep. And it sounds just divine. And I will tell you more about that later in this here program.
So we'll find out later on what is the perfect breakfast cereal, as well as get to all of your important reactions and overreactions from week 1 of the preseason. Don't forget, you can go to patreon.com/thesportsocracy. Get in on the battle for the belt.
You actually can do that in the description of the YouTube video, too. It is a one-off donation to charity. You are in. We'll be announcing these people as they happen. They've been coming fast and furious today. And I'm not going to lie, I just 20 minutes before this here program started, I saw a render of the belt. And she's pretty sweet.
It's going to be great. Hopefully, everybody will get in on it. Your chance to prove yourself and establish yourself as Beer City's best fantasy football player.
You can also go to the Facebook page at the Sportsocracy. It's on the front of that as well. It's going to be just a whale of a lot of fun.
And don't forget, through your Patreon purchase as well, you can get the Mullet's Money-Making Fantasy Draft Kit, so you can dominate all of your fantasy drafts as we run up to the start of the season here.
I used it on a fantasy draft over the weekend. That when the draft was over and I looked at my roster, I audibly laughed out loud. Like, I could just best ball this, and you still have no shot at beating me. Just let it roll. It's fine.
It's fine.
You know what's not fine?
What's that?
The quarterback situation for our Carolina Panthers.
Oh, now what's not fine? What's not fine about it? You got a perfectly good choice between two guys who are in control.
Yeah, that's not what I saw. That's not what I saw at all. I saw the same old Baker Mayfield I have seen time and time and time and time again. Oh, wide open receiver and fourth row.
Uh-huh.
Good job. There you go, Bake. I'm going to say this again, and I will die on this hill. Sam Darnold's better than Baker Mayfield is. And I don't even really care about what Sam did. Nothing has changed with Baker Mayfield. Nothing. Nothing. It's still 2 steps forward, 3 steps back.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how you will function all season long if you trust your season to Baker. But here's the problem. I don't believe that Matt Rule has the job security or intestinal fortitude to say that out loud.
I still feel like this team's all about selling tickets. I still feel like
I don't, because I want to give Carolina more credit.
I still feel like they're stuck in this. What are we going to do? What is the sexiest thing that we can do? And it's not starting Sam Darnold. It's starting Baker Mayfield, especially for week 1.
I don't agree with you. I know exactly what Baker Mayfield is. He has not – there is no growth in the offense. I watched the entire game. Granted, the two of them didn't play much. I did not see a whole lot of difference. I saw a happy-footed quarterback in Baker Mayfield, which is exactly what I saw in Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
That has not changed. And I'm afraid you're destined for a train wreck. I'm trying to be nice about this. I listened to Matt Rule. As a fan on a hot mic is screaming, fire Matt Rule.
Mm-hmm.
And he just laughs it off. Like, yeah, that's funny. Yeah, good for you. And I feel like he looks around and goes, there is nothing here.
Mm-hmm.
I also have one very pressing question. What is Ben McAdoo's address so we can send him a pamphlet about PhD weight? He ate Mike Shula. I am reasonably convinced of that.
Oh.
They showed him on television and had to zoom out. They didn't plan it well, and they had to hit zoom out to pull away from him because the top of his head was not showing in the frame.
Now, that's not nice, Jeremy.
Who said I was nice? I feel like a doo-doo kitty today.
We shouldn't poke fun.
I wasn't poking fun. I was stating for the record, holy Jiminy Cricket, you should watch that.
This is what they do. I mean, this is what guys do when you get older. You can't help yourself.
Oh, I get it.
Lane Kiffin, same thing.
I'm not judging him. I'm saying, brother, there is a way to fix this, and you ought to, because that was not a good look.
Is his email just ben.mcadoo@panthers.com? Can we send him the link to myphdweightloss.com?
I wanted to say something meaner right there, but I didn't, and I'm proud of myself. I'll tell you another thing, Panthers fans, and I'm really not trying to rain on your parade.
I don't feel like
Matt Corral may be the worst quarterback I've ever seen.
he may legitimately be the worst rookie quarterback I've ever seen.
It did not look good for him.
When you go 1 of 9 against a bunch of guys that won't make it to this weekend, you're in trouble. That means against the starters, you'd have been like 2 for 40.
Mm-hmm.
And it's exactly what I said weeks, months, forever ago about Carolina. Roll with Sam. What is the benefit of any of this? You have given up all this draft capital. Do you have a quarterback that you even kind of believe in? No. So what was the point? Nobody that's being honest with themselves watched Baker Mayfield and went, well, he's just worlds better than Sam Darnold. No, they look like the same guy.
Mm-hmm.
Just one of them looks like maybe he let loose of mommy's hand and is now lost at will call at a train station, and the other one looks like a Lego fireman.
But see, this is why I said what I said about I feel like they're still trying to sell tickets. What I mean by that is that they just – the Panthers as an organization are just – they're just focused on interest. We just want to be interesting. We had a problem with quarterback last year, so what did we do? We ended up and went out and got Cam Newton and brought him back just to boost the fan base, just to give us a little spark.
And here's my question.
And that's what Baker
Who is
did.
this interesting to? All right, so that's your thought, is that they're trying to sell tickets. I vehemently disagree with you.
Mm-hmm.
But let's play devil's advocate and say that I do agree with you. Who are you rallying? Who watched Baker Mayfield drop a snap and then fumble in the red zone and go, yeah, Baker! Woo! Let's go! Nobody.
No. I'm not saying
all
it's
you
the
did
right
was
move.
waste draft capital to do absolutely nothing.
Right. I'm not saying it's the right move. I'm saying that's the only reason that I can come up with. That's the only logical reason that I could come up with of why they went out and got Baker Mayfield, paid $5 million to get him here, was because he's more exciting. He's a name.
I saw a look from Robbie Anderson. All right, because he did get behind the corner, and Baker throws one up there because, he's the chunk play guy.
Right.
He rally the fan base.
Right.
Did you see Robbie Anderson's face coming back?
No.
This dude may end my life. I know that look. I've watched enough Jet quarterbacks almost incapacitate wide receivers. As a matter of fact, one of them was Robbie Anderson. I know that look. That's the, oh, good Lord, what are we doing? What are we doing? And there's so much to like. Yes, I started on the bad note. There was a lot to like about Carolina, but you can't get away from the quarterback because you went and got, I think it was Adam Black that said this in the comments, he's more Johnny Rah-Rah. I got news for you. Let me tell you, and this is something that I have been told by more than one player in the NFL. That ain't what we're after. Johnny Rah-Rah doesn't do much unless it's Tom Brady. When it's Josh Rosen, it's really, really irritating.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I think this is.
Yep.
But, like I said, there were positives. I started with the negatives. Swallow the frog. Get the bad out. Get to the good. After the break, I will tell you what that good is.
You are in the Sportsocracy with me, Tank Spencer, and him, Jeremy Greene, here on ESPN Asheville.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in Western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
Attention, it's time for the morning announcements. Make sure your parents are aware of the Ingles Tools for Schools program and ask them to link their Ingles Advantage card to our school. Remember, you have to do it each year. Now please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation,
People who call QC Kinetics are pretty much fed up with joint pain.
It's to the point where it's affecting their quality of life. Maybe they can't pick up their grandchildren anymore, or golf, or play tennis, or walk with their friends.
Dr. Justin Garzone, medical director at QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine, giving lasting joint pain relief with no drugs, no steroids, and no surgery.
The great thing about our therapies, there isn't any downtime. There's no side effects, so patients can get our treatment and continue on with their day-to-day life.
And Dr. Garzone speaks from experience. He had excruciating back pain and got relief at a QC Kinetics clinic.
Over a very short period of time, the pain went away completely, and I've had absolutely no symptoms or pain since my treatment.
Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517.
The job market is competitive right now, so you need to be competitive to attract top talent. If you're trying to fill open positions at your business, iHeartMedia is here to help. Use radio and digital targeting to find fresh, passive candidates currently in the workforce. These candidates are listening right now, looking for new opportunities. Together, we can let the community know you're hiring. Visit iHeartAdvertising.com. That's iHeartAdvertising.com.
Hi, I'm Flo from Progressive. Being a baseball fanatic like me can be stressful. It's not all sports points and touchdowns. So Progressive is going to help you take your mind off your team for a moment. Instead of thinking about how they missed that goal point score, think about the Name Your Price tool from Progressive, letting you choose coverage options based on your budget, unlike your team that missed the end zone net area. Well, anyway, hope this distraction about Progressive's Name Your Price tool was helpful. It sure kept me from thinking about all those penalty balls. Yay, sports!
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
The Sportsocracy.
Why are you smiling? Because I love football.
Well, here's the thing, Carolina Panther fans. At least the season started off with a win, right?
Oh, stop that.
I mean, come on.
I have seen people ready to just burn their jerseys because you lost a preseason game. Nobody cares.
No, especially the guys on the sidelines with the headsets. Like, they do not care.
Really, they want this to be over.
I mean, maybe Harbaugh. Maybe Harbaugh is the only one that cares.
I thoroughly loved when Washington scored and went, we could tie this. Or we could go for 2, and this has to end.
Right.
2. Going for 2.
Going for 2.
Now, if you're a Carolina fan and I piddled in your punch bowl, I will now give you a reason that you should feel really much better about your team than what I just led on.
Okay.
You made Carson Wentz look real average. Real average. With a ton of their starters playing early. Didn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
2's made him look bad. And it's not so much that he looked bad, he just didn't look effective. And so when you see the first team defense come in and do that, then you see the second team defense do that. Okay, the defense is fine. Now I look at Carolina. I'm not going to say I look at them completely differently because I don't. I look at you as a team that should be trying to grind out wins with 2 quarterbacks who can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
That terrifies me. But that defense is very, very talented.
Of course.
I mean, very, 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 very talented.
We have talked for the last 2 years about how that's the best part of this Carolina Panthers team. And, you know, last year I think they were a top 5 defense for at least 10 weeks.
Until Sam Darnold turned into the turnover king.
I mean, but the defense played solid last year.
Oh, absolutely.
And they're going to be a threat this year. The problem is, can you score points?
But here's my problem. If you had just listened to me, get away from selling tickets. Get away from interesting, because I got news for you. When I talk to people around this league, Carolina's the least interesting team in this league.
Mm-hmm.
Often.
Mm-hmm.
Seattle, close. This isn't interesting because we know what both guys are. If you had just tapped, you've already paid Sam. You know what Sam is.
Mm-hmm.
You have the draft picks. You go get a guy in a year.
Mm-hmm.
What is any of this making you feel better? That's the thing I can't wrap my head around. And I feel this way about – it's not just Carolina. They're just the one that has a legitimate quarterback competition. Seattle Seahawks, I feel the same way about them.
Mm-hmm.
If you're watching that competition going, Geno Smith's the better of these 2, you're bad at this. You should do other things. Learn to knit, I've heard weaving can be a lot of fun. Scouting, not your thing.
Mm-hmm.
Drew Lock has eviscerated him. And I just don't get the point. I don't get the point of why do you do these minutia things? As we said with our power rankings the other day, there are a handful of teams I know they're bad.
Mm-hmm.
Chicago Bears, who we'll talk about later, they're bad.
Mm-hmm.
My New York Jets, bad. B-A-D-D, bad.
That didn't take long.
Oh, no. That may be a new record of me tapping out on my team. you remember when I tapped out on Mike Norvell inside of the first half of his first game?
I do.
Jets didn't make it that far. That interception happened, and I went, well, I guess it's time to drink because that's the only thing that's going to make this any more palatable to watch.
It's going to be a long season.
Going to be a bad day. This is a bad day to have a bad day, and we're going to have a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
But now I will say this, and this is the silver lining. I think in a year, if you look at the jobs that could open around this league, there is one incredibly attractive coach. And I'm not sure this isn't the best situated team to hire him.
Are you talking about Sean Payton?
I am talking about Sean Payton. The disaster that is the Dallas Cowboys, Seacrest out.
Right.
You can have that. 17 penalties in a preseason game?
Mm-hmm.
I'm good. I do not want to hurt the mythology of my career by going to that.
Never thought it was possible that Mike McCarthy, his hot seat would get hotter during the preseason. That is hard to do.
Oh, Mike McCarthy's seat is hotter than my coffee right now.
Uh-huh.
Because that was an abject disaster. But they played, but I don't care. It's systemic. When you look at the system that this team has in place, you have a first-round rookie that cannot stop holding people. Can't.
Mm-hmm.
Knew it when he drafted him. It was the first words out of my mouth. This is who you are. You're undisciplined. You're not fun to watch. And you're under the greatest microscope because you're the Dallas Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
I would argue worst weekend of any NFL team. The Jets are won by just light years. Whatever speed Buzz Lightyear travels at, that's how far it's us. Cowboys are 2.
Really?
Cowboys are 2. I watched it just going, this is exactly what I thought it was.
Mm-hmm.
The line has regressed. The defense is not nearly what you sell it to be. It's just not a good team.
Yeah.
It's not a good team.
Week 1 of the preseason did not go their way. And, you know, you can take what you want from Matt Rule's post-game press conference where he was talking about both quarterbacks did really good things. They both look in control of the offense. But with Baker, you've got that, okay, he looks good for 7 plays.
And then terrible for 3.
Right. And then just completely derails a drive. And then there's Sam. And what is your takeaway for Sam? I mean, he did get him into the end zone.
He did, but he was also put in much better shape. I don't care that he got him in the end zone.
Mm-hmm.
He looks like he understands this offense better, and he looks more consistent, which, if you're being honest with yourself, I've said on this show since they got to camp. I heard it day one, and it has not stopped happening.
Mm-hmm.
It's peaks and valleys. The peaks of Baker are better. The valleys are worse. Sam is consistent.
Mm-hmm.
You don't often see the chunk plays, but it appears that he's trying to not turn the ball over so often. And I'll be honest with you, it's what you need. You need a quarterback that's not going to do that. I've said this stat. I've said it 50 times if I've said it once. Since Baker came into this league, that's the lowest rated quarterback in the fourth quarter. That may be the only stat I actually care about.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really curious about the offensive line. Where is Ike Ekwonu? What has he done that is the unforgivable, unpardonable, that he's an afterthought?
Mm-hmm.
I thought at worst you slide in at guard and you run with the ones and we'll be hunky-dunky there. He's not even doing that, which is bizarre to me.
Mm-hmm. He's listed as second team on the initial depth chart of the season. And is this one of those games that a coach will play to try to, spur something in a guy that he hasn't seen? I don't know.
It would be unsettling to me if I was a Panthers fan. But this is, to me, exactly what's happening with Carolina right now is exactly why you don't do the lame duck coach thing. We talked about it all offseason.
Mm-hmm.
There is virtually nothing Matt Rule can do that will keep this job.
Yes.
Because short of him going 13-4, the fan base has completely tapped. So what are you doing? We know he's going to be gone in a year. Does anybody doubt that in any way?
I don't think so.
And the fact that he says something to the fan that's screaming at him that gets caught on a hot mic, it's just a bad look. And I don't understand what the purpose was. I say the same thing about Matt Rule that I've said about the quarterbacks. I know you got to have somebody.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't really understand why it had to be this somebody.
You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. Coming up after the break, we'll get just a bit outside.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Now, most of the thunderstorms tonight setting up shop to our east and heading away from us. Our low tonight 63 in the valley, some 50s with elevation. Chance for some hit-and-miss showers and comfortable temperatures the rest of the week with highs in the 70s, lows in the 50s and 60s. Looks like the best rain chances come in Wednesday for midweek. Could see some quarter-inch rainfall midweek on Wednesday. I'm meteorologist Scott Lariamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Discover. We could talk about how complicated other banks make it to redeem credit card rewards. Or we could talk about how with Discover, you can redeem your rewards for cash in any amount at any time. Talk about amazing. Learn more at discover.com/redeem rewards. Terms apply.
The Night Race. It's as American as Uncle Sam deadlifting 350 while drinking a Busch Light outside his camper in a national park. It's as American as Earnhardt rattling Terry's cage. It's the Bass Pro Shops Night Race at Bristol Motor Speedway. And it's a cutoff race in the NASCAR playoffs. You remember what happened last year, right? Be there September 17th. Go to bristolmotorspeedway.com and get your tickets before they're gone. Can I get a hell yeah?
DQ presents... Picture this. Picture the burger of your dreams. It's on the new DQ Signature Stack Burgers menu. A lineup of 5 premium burgers, like the Flamethrower Signature Stack Burger and Loaded A1 Signature Stack Burger, with 100% seasoned real beef patties, melty cheese, and a combo of top-notch toppings and sauces galore. This dream burger is calling your name. But it isn't a dream. You're ordering at the DQ drive-thru. The DQ Signature Stack Burgers lineup. Try it today. DQ. Happy tastes good.
When I finally drove the old car into the grave, I knew there was only one place I was going to go. Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville, home of the family plan. And yes, they treat you like family. I went in, told them what I was looking for, told them my budget, and in no time, I was signing the paperwork on my certified pre-owned vehicle. They have the area's largest selection on quality pre-owned vehicles and certified Nissans. They go through a 167-point inspection, so you know it's not going to let you down. They gave me the Carfax report, so I know the history of my vehicle. And the Fred Anderson family plan gives me things like oil changes and car washes and loaner cars if I have to have major work done on the car in the future. For me, buying a car has always been an intimidating thought. But the folks at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville made it super easy. Don't be like me. Don't wait till the last minute to get a deal done. Go to AndersonNissan.com or stop by the showroom at 629 Brevard Road. And don't forget to mention we sent you from the Sportsocracy and get a $250 bonus on your trade-in at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I am Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
Welcome back into the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, live on the iHeartRadio app and on YouTube.com/The Sportsocracy. And it's time to get just a bit outside. Now, we know that football players have suffered many, many concussions in their football playing days. But the latest claim from Brett Favre is, I must say, it's just a little hard to believe. So apparently he went on Bubba the Love Sponge's show, which I didn't even know that dude was still doing radio.
Oh, yeah, it's terrible.
Or podcast or wherever you can find Bubba the Love Sponge these days. He got Brett Favre to do an interview with him, and Brett Favre, they asked him, how many concussions do you think you've had in your career? And he said, well, if you'd asked me that question a couple of years ago, I'd have told you 3. I went through a long time believing that I'd only had 3 concussions because to me, when you have a concussion, I thought that was when you got smacked, you got knocked out, you blacked out for a while, and then you woke up seeing stars and all that kind of stuff. But now that we're learning more and more and more about concussive brain injuries, it's pretty much every time you see stars or flash bulbs or whatever. So his guesstimation on how many concussions he's had in his career, over 1,000. He says he swears he's had over 1,000 concussions, which means in his 20-year career he would have had to have averaged about 50 a year.
I'm going to go with no. Under!
Yeah, I'm going to say not quite. I mean, it does make me consider, like, if I'm him and, you know, if he's read up on any of the stuff about concussions and all the things that players go through and the untimely deaths and suicides and all of that, if I think I've had 1,000 concussions, I'm going to get brain scanned right now. Like, you need to tell me where I stand. Hopefully, he ages gracefully. But I believe 1,000 concussions is a little overshooting the mark.
The more time goes on, the more Lane Kiffin is becoming my favorite coach in college football.
Mm-hmm.
He had a little bit of a problem. His punter got hurt. He didn't have a punter. And it looks like kid will be ready for the season, maybe, but he didn't have a punter going into the last few weeks of camp.
Okay.
But he found one at a keg party at Ole Miss.
What?
Kid's name is Charlie Pollock. He was a punter at Nevada. Well, apparently he entered the transfer portal, and nobody offered him a scholarship. Lane Kiffin swears he had no idea. Bull hockey. I don't believe you in the least. Somebody said, hey, Lane, there's a guy that played at Nevada. He's in that frat right there. Go talk to him.
Yeah.
So that's what he did.
Yeah.
He went to a keg party and talked to this kid about coming to be the punter at Ole Miss.
Nice.
His quote was, I don't know a whole lot about him. I think he was down at the frat house like at a keg party or something where they got him from. So we have condition work to do with my guy. But we just said, hey, someone go find a punter around campus. So we found one that actually used to punt D1. So you never know.
Interesting. And found him at a kegger.
Hilarious. Can you just imagine how that conversation went? Charlie, Lane Kiffin. What are you doing here, Coach? I want you to come punt for us. I can do that. But not today. I'm gonna need a cup of coffee and a nap.
Yeah, but Coach, I'm gonna need you to hold my legs real quick. And then he does a keg stand.
Oh, that would be the ultimate story of all time.
Oh, and then that would be he would be a hero, obviously. Lane Kiffin would be a hero amongst the student body, but wait until the social media nerds get a hold of that.
Did you see that John Daly has a 60-player tournament that happened over the weekend?
No.
So it's called the Daly Classic or something like that.
Okay.
This was the 3rd annual. It's a 2-man scramble. They give you a case of beers, and at the 18th hole, you have to have none left. Doesn't matter how you delineate them.
Right.
But for every one you have left, it adds a stroke.
It has to be consumed by your team.
Yes. You also have to wear John Daly pants, and you can hit as many mulligans as you want, but you have to have just a sup before you do it. You have to have a shot.
Oh, you have
every
to take a
time
shot
you do
before you do a mulligan.
I read this and went, I am so in for this. But, I mean, I think we need to do a 4-man scramble. 2 seems a little aggressive.
Right.
2 seems like what I would do.
Quit being weak. This is the John Daly Classic.
I meant if we were going to do one of these.
Oh.
No, John Daly, I'm shocked it was just 24.
I mean, we could do that. We could, Yeah, I mean,
Well,
you and I could team up, And you drink all the beers, and I'll be fine.
And play all the golf because you don't do that. No, that's okay.
It's a great time to learn.
You had to find your own partner.
I feel like
I have a partner that I think would be quite formidable in this particular setting.
Aha. You've already got it planned out. You got your ringer.
I posted this on social media, and I've had no less than 50 people reach out to me and go, I'd do it. That is not why I posted this.
But okay.
But I'm not upset that I did.
Now you just got to find a golf course that'll do it.
There's no doubt there's a golf course that will do it. There are many golf courses that do it with me, and they don't know they're doing it. There's hey, that guy with a mullet seems to be hitting his driver a lot.
You just go one club. Just eventually you're just like, I can't delineate between all of these different clubs. I'm too drunk. And you just go one club.
No. You remember that story I told you about the guy that consumed one on every hole? And by the 18th hole, he was a borderline scratch golfer.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing I didn't tell you. That story's about me. And if you don't believe it, ask News No Mark Starling.
Okay.
He has long said that my philosophy is very similar to Sammy Hagar. You just have to rearrange some words. I can't drive a golf ball below a .05.
Jeremy's already tapped out on the New York Jets season.
It's not that I've tapped out. It's just, why do you have to do such unbelievably stupid things?
Zach Wilson gets hurt in the game against the Philadelphia Eagles. Thankfully, it wasn't serious. At least they don't think it's serious.
Looks like it's a 2 to 4 week injury. We'll know when they get in there to deal with the meniscus.
Right. It's a meniscus thing, and apparently it's not a full repair that needs to be done. It's just some trimming of the meniscus that needs to be done to alleviate the pain. Could be a week or two of the regular season that he misses. So it's not all lost. Like when I saw Zach Wilson went down, I immediately went, oh, well, Jeremy's upset.
Oh, yeah. Jeremy was inconsolable.
Feeling his feelings
HWA had
today.
to deal with me. And she did that thing. And God love her. She is the sweetest woman you'll ever meet in your life. She's sitting here trying to make me feel better. Well, I mean, we don't know how bad it's going to be. It's the Jets. We know how bad it's going to be. It's the Jets. We're cursed.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Namath made a deal with the devil, and as long as he walks this earth, we are never allowed to have fun again. And I'm convinced of that. That used to be something I said as a joke. Now I am 100% convinced of it. Joe, I love you. But, okay, like, can we ever be good?
But you did me dirty.
It's just so infuriating. And it's not even just Zach. I mean, second pass, picked off. Whee! Well, that's less than ideal. So let's put our slightly fragile, mom-adjacent quarterback back out there.
Mom-adjacent.
And see what he can do with 3 backups on the offensive line. You see how stupid that sounds when I say it out loud? And I said this on social media. A lot of people said, well, it wasn't the line that got him hurt. I never said it was, but it kind of was. Because you had a backup tackle that got absolutely burned. So he has to get out of the pocket, and then he has to know, get down. And that's one of those things. Smart quarterbacks know that. Smart quarterbacks know that. That's a feel thing. Pat Mahomes knew that the minute he got in the league. Zach Wilson didn't know it. And I'm not saying he can't learn it. The arm is intoxicating. But I feel like I've watched this before. I feel like I've watched this film before, and I know how it ends. It's Baker Mayfield on steroids. Oh, you've got a cannon arm. So does Baker. Oh, you throw just unbelievably ill-timed interceptions. So does Baker. And that's what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say something, and this is not going to be super popular with the Jet fans that watch our show. If I'm Robert Saleh and I'm Joe D., I'm making the call on Jimmy Garoppolo, and I don't care if Zach Wilson's healthy.
Should.
I don't care about the money. I need somebody that understands this offense backwards and forwards. Flacco, it's fine. He barely knows this playbook. Barely. I need somebody that has eat it, slept it, breathed it, and that's Jimmy Garoppolo. And before anybody says, well, he doesn't want to be a backup, well, he doesn't want to be in San Francisco. Because based on what I saw of Trey Lance, that job is done like dinner. And so I just make the call. I'd make the call. I've heard they're interested in Denzel Mims. We'll give you Mr. Mims. We'll give you a draft pick. Jimmy, come on down.
Getting Jimmy Garoppolo, that's why I didn't feel all that bad. Like, if it was going to be a serious injury with Zach Wilson, you got Jimmy. Jimmy's right there. And he knows the offense. He's connected with both of these coaches. It makes complete and perfect sense.
What I saw,
I've always thought that was going to happen with Jimmy anyway.
Well, and that's I said that a while back. If I'm the Jets, I'm going to get Jimmy Garoppolo. It's the most depressed asset on the market, and it actually would benefit me. But here's what I saw of that New York Jets team that nobody's talking about. I'm going to level you. The Zach Wilson injury, it's going to sound weird to hear me say this. This was a blessing in disguise for Robert Saleh. Because, trust me, they would have been talked about regardless. Did you happen to see what Jalen Hurts did to this team? 6-6, 82 yards. There was never a defender in the frame. Not one time. In front of Sauce Gardner, in front of Jordan Whitehead. It didn't matter. So there are problems that are bigger on this team than the quarterback. And so, to me, I'm looking for a vet leader. I'll reiterate the thing I heard about Baker Mayfield. He's the vet leader. The Jets actually need one of those. This is a really young team. And I get that Zach Wilson is doing his best. But he was raw coming out. He's still raw now. And you're all in. That's what nobody seems to want to admit with the Jets. You're all in. All of these moves, the Jamal Adams deal, all this draft capital you've used, you're all in. You go 4-13 now, everybody's going home with a parting gift. And it's a bag of Tide Pods and $47 in Starbucks gift cards.
But it's not an all-in for one season.
It is. It is, and nobody wants to admit it, but I hear that with every person in New York I talk to. This is a you better be better because the Robert Saleh thing is aging like a dairy product.
Well, what's better? You have to win 4 games instead of 3 games or whatever. But it's not like
there has to be market improvement. You cannot now say that you do not have the personnel for this system. You can't.
Agree.
Because you have cherry-picked everybody that you could possibly want.
When you say all in, I think like Tampa Bay Buccaneers all in.
No,
like
this is not all in that we're going to win a Super Bowl.
Right.
This is we have to show that we're a cognitive franchise. We haven't made the playoffs in 11 years through 4 coaches. Robert Saleh has shown absolutely nothing that makes anybody feel warm and fuzzy, specifically me. There's just nothing there. You look completely lost. You want to talk about something that you can see in playoff or in preseason games? Teams that completely don't know their scheme. You're looking at guys that are constantly pointing at each other going, that was your spot. That's unsettling when it's the 3s. It's terrifying when it's the 1s. And that's exactly what I saw. And so I'm looking at a franchise that I think has built up the talent base, but now you don't have the vets. Now you don't have the guys that know how to be a pro. You got a few, but you're so young. Probably no team did I walk back their win total more than the New York Jets.
You had them at 7?
I had them at 7.5, which was the over-under in Vegas. I think now you'll be lucky to win 5, especially if Joe Flacco has to play any period of time.
And that puts Rob Saleh on the hot seat.
It would for me. It would for me. I'm starting to think you have done this incorrectly. It just everything's chaos. You cannot look at a team that no matter how this works, no matter who the quarterback is, it was this way with Zach Wilson, it was this way with Joe Flacco, it was this way with Mike White. It's chaos. Nobody knows how to line up. There's a ton of mental penalties. That all falls back on the coach. And when you have pushed all these chips in, you had all these first-round picks, you had all these second-round picks, all this draft capital, you have to improve. These are your guys. And to me, you're not a drop better than what I saw out of Adam Gase 2 years ago.
Yeah. Nobody expects this team to be good.
Oh, a lot of people do. Oh, a lot of people do. Oh, there are Jet message boards that think Zach Wilson's the next Namath. We're going 12-5.
Obviously, Jets fans. There is a portion of them that feel like this team should be good, but I don't think that there's one, broadcaster, an analyst, anybody who's picked the Jets to be great.
No, not great, but you expected it to be better. And to me, it's not. It's just not. And I hope a couple of these things improve. Not having Zach, because best case scenario, his first week back is going to be the lead up to Baltimore.
Yep.
So now I've got to trot him out there, having missed combined practices with the Falcons
and the Giants.
I don't feel great about what I saw.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel great about what I saw. And if this kid gets hurt again, now I have serious long-term, I boo-booed this. And there was something that I saw around the NFL this week that made it exponentially worse.
You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville.
Everyone's heard about the housing market and this being the best time to sell a house in years. But the same thing applies to cars. Whether you're looking to buy a car, trade in, or sell that car in the driveway collecting dust, Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville wants to buy your car. They have 2 on-site managers that work with Kelly Blue Book to give you top dollar for your vehicle. You can even have your car appraised instantly at AndersonNissan.com. Stop in and visit them today at 629 Brevard Road in Asheville or call them at 828-365-1663.
Attention, it's time for the morning announcements. Make sure your parents are aware of the Ingles Tools for Schools program and ask them to link their Ingles Advantage card to our school. Remember, you have to do it each year. Now please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
Keep listening for the next chance to win your way to our iHeartRadio Music Festival, September 23rd and 24th at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. Tickets are on sale right now. AXS.com.
Stream it free on the CW app and CWTV.com.
Sponsored by The Hartford. With insurance designed for your small business, the Bucks got your back. Go to iHeartRadio.com/The Hartford to learn how to nominate your favorite small business owner for a small business grant and a bonus chance to win a trip to the iHeartRadio Music Festival.
Many parents are concerned about the safety of the COVID-19 vaccine for younger children. We asked Dr. Sean O'Leary, a pediatric infectious disease specialist and professor at the University of Colorado, what parents should know about the vaccine.
I can tell you that these COVID-19 vaccines have been among the best studied medications in history. So we have information on literally hundreds of millions of people who've been vaccinated. We have a very good understanding of the safety profile of these vaccines. We have seen in every group that's been vaccinated that the vaccines offer a great deal of protection against infection, but really most importantly against the severe outcomes of hospitalization and death. And that's been true in every other age group. We know that these vaccines work very well and they are very safe.
To find COVID-19 vaccines and boosters near you, check out vaccines.gov.
Every search you make, every click you take, they'll be watching you.
Tired of companies like Google and Facebook watching everything you do online? There's actually a simple solution. DuckDuckGo. It's an all-in-one privacy app with a built-in private search engine, web browser, one-click data clearing, email protection, and more, all for free. Download the app today and get the most comprehensive privacy protection with a push of a button. DuckDuckGo. Privacy simplified.
The Sportsocracy.
Ice up, son. Ice up.
Back here in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. Yes, Zach Wilson. There is no timetable right now for his return. He's getting a knee scope. They'll figure it out what the timeline is after the work gets done. And it's hard for me to believe that that the heat's turning up on this thing, but I got to look. Jeremy's closer to the New York Jets than I am. I thought just going into this was like free play year. This is free play year. We've got all these rookies, and we're still feeling things out.
You got to see growth. That's why you bring in Dwayne Brown. That's why you bring in Quan Alexander.
Mm-hmm.
you have to see some form of growth. And it's just not there.
Yep.
That's the thing that scares me. Now, can it be? Sure. But I don't like really anything that I saw.
Mm-hmm. Splash plays from rookies. That seemed to be the theme of the weekend. Everybody crazy about Danny Gray, San Francisco 49ers.
Stop. I've heard that, and I like him. He's a fine 3 or 4.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll be honest with you. If I was a Jets fan, and I am, the thing that would terrify me is Trey Lance. Trey Lance has played a fraction of the snaps that Zach Wilson has.
Mm-hmm.
Looks exponentially ahead of him.
Right.
Looks exponentially ahead of him. Looks exactly like I said he would be. He's perfect for this offense.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have to make the right read every time. He's so terrifying on the ground that people jump routes. And all he has to do is make the right decision. You do that 7 out of 10 times, and that's the 3rd best team in the NFC. I don't see that.
Right.
I don't see it with Zach Wilson, and I don't see it with Justin Fields.
Mm-hmm. Somebody asked in the comments, could this be like as bad for the Jets as it is for the Dolphins? The Dolphins taking Tua before Justin Herbert, and now Zach Wilson going before Trey Lance. Could it get that bad?
It could be that bad because they run the same system. It could be that bad because they run the same system.
Mm-hmm.
And that would worry me. Mac Jones would worry me. Mac's never going to be an MVP, but he is light years ahead of Zach Wilson and Justin Fields.
Mm-hmm. So just another opportunity that the Jets missed out on.
I mean, and I'm not ready to throw dirt on it.
Okay. That's what it sounds like.
Because it's exponentially farther behind than it should be. I mean, ask yourself this. Name me the quarterback that you've ever seen come out in year 2 and absolutely look like they didn't know what their job was.
Mm-hmm.
Like they didn't know the playbook. I mean, because the interception he threw, he stared down the receiver, never took his eyes off of him.
Mm-hmm.
That's not something that tends to change. There are a handful of things that I put in red marker on quarterback evaluations. Stares down receivers is very high.
Yep.
So is injury prone. I can now say both of those things about Zach Wilson.
Overreaction. Danny Gray could just completely make Brandon Ayuk irrelevant.
That's stupid.
In the San Francisco 49ers offense.
That is stupid. Danny Gray is a nice receiver. He does one thing real good.
Khalil Shakir is the next great thing for the Buffalo Bills.
He's going to have a role. He will have a role. I think he probably carves into Jamison Crowder.
Mm-hmm.
And that's fine. I mean, these are the 3rd and 4th receivers in an offense that's going to run a good bit. I mean, I like both. I think they will be tangible assets for the Buffalo Bills.
Mm-hmm.
I do laugh at every player that we overvalue. They come in and play against 3s, and all of a sudden, well, look how good they are.
Right.
This guy was a 5th-round pick.
Right.
He's playing against the future plumbers of America. I mean, there's just nothing there.
I mean, it is good to see. I like George Karlaftis. We'll take another one. George Karlaftis got like 4 pressures in the game against the Chicago Bears, and part of that was because the Chicago Bears suck at blocking.
Yep.
But it was also, oh my God, he's so good. Well, I mean, this is kind of what you want to see. Mm-hmm. You want to see your guys come in and be able to handle the pressure.
That's why you play rookies against 2s.
Absolutely.
Because that gives them the motivation and the I can do this, and it weans them into the NFL because they're playing against people that are nowhere near as talented as they are.
Mm-hmm.
They might be more seasoned, but you give me a backup tackle for the Chicago Bears against George Karlaftis, good luck.
Yep.
He's going to be a turnstile.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I will answer what you said with another statement. Michael Clemens had 7 quarterback pressures against the 3s. Do you think he's a superstar? No. But I think he's an asset.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's a piece.
Mm-hmm. This is the kid out of Texas A&M, right?
It is. Tyler Cunningham is going to have an aneurysm if I don't point this out, and it's something that I said, so I love being right.
Okay.
The fact that we allowed the Baltimore Ravens to get Travis Jones is it makes me a whole lot of angry.
Right.
Because, of course, we did. He is good at the footballs.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the first 3 picks the Baltimore Ravens had. Kyle Hamilton, Tyler Linderbaum, Travis Jones.
Knocked it out of the park.
I wonder why you're good all the time. It's just the most confounding thing I've ever seen. Why do teams stay good?
I think that's why we ended up giving them an A+ on the draft grades after it was all over.
Yeah, we gave one to the Jets, too, and that's aging like milk.
Oh, stop it. It's week 1 of the preseason. Stop it.
Oh, I heard all of those things. HWA, I genuinely think she was getting ready to call a psychiatrist. Like, you need to talk to somebody.
Yeah, you need your head
because
examined.
you are just over the moon out on this team. Yes, I am.
Yes, I am.
Yes, I am. Look, and I'll tell you the same thing I told our Discord server. I have a lot of experience watching bad teams in the preseason.
Mm-hmm.
I know what it looks like. And there were a few teams that I saw it and went, yep, that's a bad team. New York Jets, not a good team.
Mm-hmm.
Chicago Bears, not a good team.
Mm-hmm.
Also apparently has a very bad lawn care team. Maybe don't have Elton John concerts 5 days before a preseason game.
Not a good idea.
I don't feel like that should be that hard to figure. Oh, yeah, Lori Lightfoot. Sorry. No politics. I forgot.
Stop
I'm
it.
sorry. I don't do that. I apologize.
We try our best.
I do. I try. But I watched that whole thing going, how is this bad?
Mm-hmm.
There was an entire end of that field that had no grass on it.
Mm-hmm.
Because they had an Elton John concert there.
Mm-hmm. But that's what you expect, right? I mean, you expect dumb things from dumb franchises. And you look at the Chicago Bears and nothing that we've talked it over and over and over again. The reason they're 32 in our power rankings is because they are god-awful.
They're bereft of talent.
Uh-huh. Their front office is in shambles. Nobody knows what's going on. And who's shocked that the field is in turmoil as well?
Didn't shock me even in the least. If you had told me there would be a team whose field was just eviscerated, I would have said Chicago Bears before you got the question out of your mouth.
More reactions and overreactions from the first week of the NFL preseason. Coming up after the top of the hour, Sports Center is next.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Now, most of the thunderstorms tonight setting up shop to our east and heading away from us. Our low tonight 63 in the valley, some 50s with elevation. Chance for some hit-and-miss showers and comfortable temperatures the rest of the week with highs in the 70s, lows in the 50s and 60s. Looks like the best rain chances come in Wednesday for midweek. Could see some quarter-inch rainfall midweek on Wednesday. I'm meteorologist Scott Lariamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Warehouse of Asheville.
It's the Labor Day sale at Mattress Warehouse. Save up to $1,000. Plus, get free next-day delivery. Upgrade to an adjustable base for free. With mattresses starting at just $99, there's a mattress to fit every budget. Visit Mattress Warehouse.
Hey you! Do you like sports? Of course you do. But how much do you actually know about the history of sports in this country? If you're not 100% sure about that, check out the new podcast, The Untold History of Sports in America, presented by One Day University. This podcast celebrates the ceremony and examines the controversial storylines around sports in America. Listen to The Untold History of Sports in America from One Day University on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
It's summertime. Just like reapplying sunscreen helps continue protection against the sun, a booster shot can help enhance protection against COVID-19 after a primary series vaccination, which wanes over time. Schedule an appointment when eligible.
Help the planet with a tip from iHeartRadio Earth. Save money and energy at home this summer by using window coverings, such as curtains or shades, to prevent heat gain through your windows during the day. Some shades can reduce unwanted solar heat through windows by up to 60%. Brought to you by iHeartRadio Earth and the National Environmental Education Foundation. To find more tips for smarter, sustainable living or to take action in your own community, go to iHeartRadio.com/Earth.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
Fire manager Chris Woodward in his 4th season on the job. The team is 12 games below 500 after spending more than $500 million in free agency last winter. Third base coach Tony Beasley is now the interim manager for the rest of the season. Kevin Durant wants the Nets to trade him, but so far they're not obliging. ESPN's Brian Windhorst.
This is not a team that's tearing down looking to rebuild. This is a team that honestly believes, whether you think it's crazy or not, that they can compete for a championship this year. And so they're not going to yield and they've made that position very clear.
Brian Windhorst on Get Up. LSU quarterback Miles Brennan is leaving college football. He was the starter for the Tigers in 2020, but tore a muscle that ended his season. He missed all of last season with a broken left arm. Clemson defensive end Xavier Thomas will miss up to 6 weeks after hurting his foot during a scrimmage on Saturday. He'll need surgery, but the team is hopeful he could be back by late September. Titans linebacker Bud Dupree pleads guilty to a misdemeanor assault charge. He gets probation.
How would you love a chance to save some money on car insurance? Geico can help. Switch today and see all the ways you could save with great rates and discounts. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com to get a rate quote and get started seeing how much you could save.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Greene, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy, presented by Ingles Supermarkets and Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
And we are in the Ingles studio here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. The Sportsocracy, heard everywhere on the iHeart Radio app. Get your claim in for your chance to be Beer City's best fantasy football player.
It comes with a belt that you get to keep forever.
We're doing the battle for the belt this year, and just like last year in our fantasy leagues that we ran, charity. We're suckers for charity here.
Eblin St. Nicholas Project.
That's
I
right.
talked to them last week. They're very excited about this. And we have an aggressive goal here. We want 500 people in this. And if we get that, we have some outrageous prizes, thanks to our sponsors and wonderful things.
Yeah.
I'm so excited about this. I didn't tell you this. So the guy that's doing the belt has actually done a series of college turnover belts. So you see the belt that I know Alabama had one at one time, and I only know that because it's been sent to me about 6 times. That's where they're coming from.
Mm-hmm.
So this is not going to be like some little toy that you bought off a shelf at Walmart.
This is going to be like a refashioned tag team championship belt from Walmart.
No, this is going to be.
And
this is cast. It is very sweet.
It's going to be awesome. Can't wait to crown the champion this year, but you want to get in on that, and we'll do a big thing. We'll do a big belt presentation and all that. And
might have some news on that next week.
It's gonna be great.
All kinds of little tricks up my sleeve.
That's
if you want
right.
in, it's in the description of the YouTube channel or on our Facebook at The Sportsocracy.
Tell all of your friends to jump in as well, whether they listen to the program or not.
If they don't listen, you should tell them to listen.
Absolutely.
And then tell them this egotistical mullet guy is basically thrown down the gauntlet of, I don't want to let this belt go. And I'm in it.
Your chance to get, of course, the Sportsocracy Fantasy Football Beer City Champion belt, and also help out the Eblin Charity St. Nicholas Project at the same time. It's a win-win. It's a win-win.
You'll also get your name on the screen from now till the end of the year.
YouTube.
Just as a thank you for all of the things that you wonderful people do.
Don't forget to check us out on the YouTube stream at youtube.com/thesportsocracy. Hit that subscribe button so you can get into the chat with us as we talk about the overreactions and just the reactions from week 1 of the preseason. So the Panthers are doomed because they don't have a quarterback. That's what we've learned so far.
I didn't say they were doomed. I just said you should really pull the hope reins back.
The Jets are god awful, and they should be relegated to the XFL. We've heard that as well.
Robert Saleh is already. I have waned. I still love you, and you can get me back. But man, that was ugly.
Trey Lance is the second coming of Patrick Mahomes.
Look, I've been in on the Trey Lance thing for as long as I can remember.
Mm-hmm.
I actually went back to some of our draft videos last year, and it is almost comical how accurate that has been. Of once he figures this out, I don't know how you're supposed to stop this team.
Mm-hmm.
Just think about the weapons. You've got Debo, who's the ultimate yak guy in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
George Kittle, who's one of the most terrifying tight ends in the league. Brandon Ayuk, who everyone in San Francisco talks about anytime you talk about this team. Oh, yeah, and you drafted this really, really, really fast little receiver out of SMU. That's pretty good. Oh, yeah, and by the way, you have one of the best defenses in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's going to work. I think it's going to be just fine.
I have been concerned about Trey Lance, whether or not he's going to be able to step up to big-time competition. I mean, this is a
only
guy
if he has a step stool. But boom, yeah, let's go.
This is a guy that's only, started 20 games since high school. I feel like if he comes in and does as well, which is going to be hard to do, in the regular season as he did in the preseason, because, he was perfect over the weekend. Had his passer rating was 158.3. Insane numbers that he's
going to be very good.
And if he could do that in a regular season, then it'll
look at the dichotomy.
Example.
Look at the dichotomy. I mean, and this is going to make me sound egotistical, but what was it that you said that someone had relayed to you that I'm a jerk and I just don't care what anybody thinks?
Oh, yeah, he was telling me he hadn't been able to listen to the program in a while, and he was upset because he missed your a-hole tendencies.
Hey, you know what? It is what it is. I don't understand how this is so hard for people to see. Let me compare two quarterbacks for you. Jordan Love, Trey Lance. Is it even close?
No.
You saw them on the same field. One's going against ones, one's going against twos. One looks like a starting NFL quarterback. The other one looks like he won a fan contest. This ain't that hard. Now, it's hard when you're going through the process. Once they get on the field, I'm going to be honest with you. You got about a 98% hit rate. It's very rare that you look at a guy and go, nope, not an NFL starter. Josh Rosen, we knew it in an hour. And Arizona did too. As soon as he got there, nope. Nope.
So, what's the point?
Trey Lance is that guy. Jordan Love's not.
Oh, okay. And I think the evidence would show that you're right about that.
If I'm Green Bay, Jordan Love doesn't make this team. I'm just going to be honest with you, because nobody's going to give you anything for him.
No. And we knew this. We've known this for 2 years. The Aaron Rodgers thing, the offseason kerfuffle that they've had, the ongoing.
The Yobagoya.
Right.
What was it? Ayahuasca?
Ayahuasca. Yeah.
Sounds like a camp.
Like on
a dude ranch.
I don't care what you got to do. You're winning MVPs. We're good. You go do you, and that's on you. You do whatever you need to do. Keep winning me MVPs. Now, hopefully you can find something. Maybe there's another, South African route that you can find that's will help you win playoff games. But because the ayahuasca stuff that stuff from South America, that works pretty good for regular season. We need to figure out how to win some playoff games. So maybe you need to go find a root or tea or whatever that will do that for you. But we knew this. They wouldn't have made such a big deal out of Aaron Rodgers if they'd have thought Jordan Love was any kind of capable.
He's not.
He's not.
He's not. He's not a third-string quarterback in this league, and it is abundantly obvious. Abundantly obvious. What was your sweeping takeaway? I've gone insane for an hour and 8 minutes. What was your, all right, this is what actually lit my fire over the weekend?
I don't think I really had one.
You can't run to save your life, and you better put Tom Brady in bubble wrap.
I go into the preseason with the with the mindset of it doesn't really matter. I want to see guys have decent outings. I don't want you to come out and look completely lost, like, I don't know,
Kyle Trask.
Justin Fields. Kyle Trask?
Yeah, Kyle Trask was awful.
How so?
Let me guess. You didn't watch him play. You're going by the stat line.
I mean, I saw...
Because that's the only way you could have watched that and not known exactly what I'm talking about.
I mean, I saw the second half of the game, and then
he cannot throw a ball 8 yards down the field. I can't remember who the beat writer was. They tweeted it out about the time I thought it. Kyle Trask is the third worst quarterback on your roster, and it ain't even close.
Okay.
It's Blaine Gabbert by 9 miles.
Blaine looked good.
He was fine.
Comparatively
Miami
speaking.
played 0 people, and you still couldn't run. Although Rashad White looked good. Rashad White, I'm just telling you, if you're a fantasy football player, that's a name that you should probably know.
He's all right. I still doubt whatever kind of run he's going to get. I don't
really.
Yeah, I don't know, because it's going to be most of the carries are going to go to Lenny.
I would say it's 60-40 at worst.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Maybe so. But Lenny will get the majority of the work, and
I'll be 100% honest with you. He's hurt, and he lives hurt at this point. That's one of the reasons I like Rachaad White so much, because he can do all of the things. And he is super fast. I saw a lot from him. And that's kind of how I watch preseason games. I nest through it as soon as I start seeing guys with really long last names. As soon as I see a guy who they had to shrink the font on his name, all right, I'm out.
You're out.
I'm out. Yeah, Laurent Duvernay-Tardif is the only one of those I've ever seen that had any real role.
Right. I mean, it gets to that point for me, like preseason games are good to get the temperature of the team for the first quarter. Maybe 2 series for some of these teams.
Stephen
and the rest
Tao.
of the game, it doesn't matter.
Stephen Tao said this the best way I can hear that I've ever heard it. If you look good in the preseason, don't overreact. If you look bad, you should be very worried. If you look just completely disorganized, which I saw out of several teams, I'll be really honest with you. Now, this one I'm not super worried about because it's a new quarterback. I didn't love everything I saw out of Indianapolis. When you trot your one out there for a quarter and a half and you can't score on their twos, that worries me. That's a team that I think should be looking to make a move. We need a receiver. All right, I have undervalued that. You know, on this show, I don't often say I was wrong. I will give you your flowers.
Yes.
You were right about that.
Thank you.
Because if Alec Pierce is your two, good luck.
I've thought that since the beginning. Like, give me one. Give me one legitimate wide receiver, and it's not going to be – it might have been bringing back Julio Jones. I really don't know about that. I think he's going to be fine down in Tampa, but it's not T.Y. Hilton. That's not your answer.
Buffalo had 5 receivers better than anything you had outside of Michael Pittman. And it was super obvious from early on. And that's I love that Tal said that. That's the best way to describe this. I don't care if you look good. You're supposed to look good. The defenses are vanilla. The offenses are vanilla. This is the most basic tenets of your offense that we're asking you to run. If you can't do that, you're in trouble. You're in trouble.
And one of the teams most in trouble, one of the quarterbacks most in trouble, he's going to be running for his life yet again. It's Justin Fields. Were we so spot on with Justin Fields that this thing has just snowballed quickly? We'll talk about that up next.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Lane delays 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 240 west end eastbound near Brevard Road. Expect delays. 26 westbound slows between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. Smoky Park Highway northbound approaching Sand Hill Road is slow. Near Avery Creek, Brevard Road northbound approaching Clayton Road to the Blue Ridge Parkway near the NC Arboretum. Traffic is stop and go. Sweeten Creek Road northbound approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. Hendersonville Road, no backups. I'm Lee Minfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Allstate. Are you a safe driver? Are you looking to save money? With DriveWise from Allstate, the safer you drive, the more you can save. At Allstate, better protection costs a whole lot less. Visit allstate.com or call an agent for a quote today.
I think it's just vapor. Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
One vape pod has as much nicotine as 1 pack of cigarettes. Get your head out of the cloud. Talk to your kid about vaping. Visit talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
This should be 8 by 7.
When it comes to closets, Janina's home organization business runs tip-top tidy.
Is this schedule right? I'm gonna need help.
But she needs to reorganize and find a new assistant.
I know, it's your last week, but can you make sure the Hanson pantry's wrapped?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Need an appliance? Shop the new Appliance Truckload event at Lowe's, going on now. From refrigerators and ranges to dishwashers and laundry pairs, we have a large selection of appliances from the brands you trust. Plus, get store-wide savings by shopping other in-stock categories. Go to your local Lowe's store or visit Lowes.com to shop the Appliance Truckload event and find what you need now. While supplies last, valid through 8/17.
DQ presents
Picture this. Picture the burger of your dreams. It's on the new DQ Signature Stack Burgers menu. A lineup of 5 premium burgers like the Flamethrower Signature Stack Burger and Loaded A1 Signature Stack Burger with 100% seasoned real beef patties, melty cheese, and a combo of top-notch toppings and sauces galore. This dream burger is calling your name. But it isn't a dream. You're ordering at the DQ drive-thru. Hello. The DQ Signature Stack Burgers lineup. Try it today. DQ, happy tastes good.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at roguecombatclub.com.
Roots and wings, the 2 greatest gifts any parent can give their kid. But when it's time for them to head off to college, there's also groceries, laundry detergent, notebook paper, ironing instructions, and futons that assemble with parts left over. At Ingles, we have all the comforts of home right around the corner. We know that life's biggest steps are best taken with faith and trust in the ones you love the most. Ingles, all the ingredients for family.
The Sportsocracy.
These guys are a f***ing disgrace.
Back here in the Ingles Studio on ESPN Asheville, who wants to be Beer City's best fantasy football player? Armchair commentary. He wants to be Bear City's best fantasy football player, despite the fact that he lives in Canada.
That's fine. You don't have to be an Asheville resident to win this. Frankly, that's great bragging rights if you do win it.
Oh, 100%. Just like he won the March Madness pool.
Oh, yeah. If he wins this, he'll never let us live it down.
Right.
Eric Miller also wants to be Beer City's best fantasy football player. Welcome into Battle of the Belts. And Armchair Commentary had a super chat looking for 2 claps and a Ric Flair. So, woo!
Be Beer City's best fantasy football player by joining our Battle for the Belt contest. It will be best ball fantasy football.
So it'll be best ball, and the Battle for the Belts is DFS.
Oh, that's
so this
the
is
DFS.
a season-long DFS. And there are rules and fun things to make it as fair as humanly possible. And somebody at the end of this is going to be crowned Beer City first annual fantasy football champion.
The link to the contest is in the description of the YouTube video today. You can also sign up through the Patreon, patreon.com/thesportsocracy, and proceeds from the Battle for the Belt go to Evelyn Charity's St. Nicholas Project, making sure that local families have something for their kids under the tree this Christmas season. So,
it's a great cause. It's great. It's a great prize. There's more things to it that we haven't announced yet. We are very excited about this.
Justin Fields.
Not very excited about that.
This is a problem. This is a problem. In the preseason game, obviously we know that they haven't done much to put weapons around him. They're trying to spin as much as possible.
They're a joke. I mean, you call it what it is. It's a joke.
They have
when you're jumping up and down about Tajay Sharp, that's not a good sign.
They have no offensive lineman that can keep the pressure off of Justin Fields. He took 2 sacks. I think he was pressured 5 times in his limited playing time.
And he threw 7 passes, so that should tell you pretty much everything you need to know.
Absolutely.
You just can't put a quarterback, and he's got unlimited potential, but he's so raw. And so now you look around at this team and just go, how do you not get this? Did you not think that the entire game? You're just watching Justin Fields run around. Like, there's no read here. There's no going through your progressions. A, B, run. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
And, that's what this season is going to be. Justin Fields has the capability to make amazing plays, but you have to put talent around him to be able to bring him through.
Oh, I'll say this as clearly as I can. There's not a young quarterback in this league that could succeed there. There's not one. I don't care if it's Trevor Lawrence. I don't care if it's Zach Wilson,
Justin
Trey
Herbert.
Lance. I don't care who it is. Nobody could succeed here. And that's on the front office.
Mm-hmm.
That's on the front office.
Continues to make me think, is it possible that we see Ryan Poles get fired after a year?
No, I don't think that is I think he's catching too much flack.
Why? He has to be the one responsible for all of this.
Well, they were killed against the salary cap. So it's not like he could have done a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
And ask yourself, that this is one of those things that people seem to forget. All right, let's say you're up. All right, Odell Beckham Jr. That's the highest profile receiver out on the market. How much would you have to pay me? All right, let's say I come in there. I can't do anything until November.
Oh, 35. I'm setting a record.
That's the point.
Yeah.
If I have options, I'm good. Offensive lineman. You see how they treat Tevin Jenkins. Okay, he has an attitude.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have to figure this out. Why would I in any way? I don't want your money.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want your money. And I think they're going to run into that next year because they're very high on the who has money to spend. And so are the Atlanta Falcons. Be really honest with yourself, and I can't believe I'm about to say this. Which team would you rather play for?
Atlanta.
Not even close.
Oh, I didn't even think about it for a split
second. It's not
second.
even close. And Desmond Ridder was fine. I actually think he represented himself better than I expected him to.
Mm-hmm.
It was against twos, and he played a lot. But if I'm a young receiver that's coming into free agency for the first time, and I'm looking to get the bag and set myself up to get another bag, I'm Seacrest out on Justin Fields.
Mm-hmm.
I'm out on this offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
I'm out on all of the things I've seen. And I'll go as deep as to say, you can't even keep the grass growing. I know that sounds stupid, but that is something that players look at.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to play on that. It was a disaster. I started seeing things on Twitter, and I went, I told HWA, okay, I'm not going to judge this until I see it on the gigantic screen in the living room. So went to DC Streams, poked around, found it, and as soon as it popped up on the screen, I went, there is no living grass on this field. This has blown ACLs and ankles and knees and problems written all over it.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that the NFL signed off on it, you should be embarrassed by that. You should be embarrassed by that. You should have embarrassed this team and said, nope, can't play on it. Find somewhere else to play or skip it.
Right. Y'all can go play, in there like an arena team.
It's
field
so bad that the
something.
kicker, Cairo Santos, literally said, I cannot warm up on the nice field close to my house because it's real legitimate turf. I have to go to the high school soccer field to get a close facsimile of what I get at Soldier Field. That's embarrassingly bad. That is embarrassingly bad. And Chicago Bear fans deserve better. You were one of the stalwart hallmark franchises of this league. And you're the laughingstock of this league. You are the laughingstock of this league. Can you name me a team in worse shape than Chicago?
No.
Seattle at least look at Schneider and go, you can figure it out. Pete Carroll, you can figure it out.
Yeah, but they also, they have so many more positives going for them. I mean, you've got some star weapons in Seattle. You have, a front office that you can kind of trust. We know the coach is getting older, but also if you're going to be bad, you're gonna get a quarterback next year. So I'm not worried about Geno Smith and Drew Lock.
I don't care. That's what I want you to do.
With
I
Chicago,
want you to not invest in anybody because nobody can survive here.
Right. And with Chicago, though, you're going to be bad, but I don't have any faith that you're going to have the stones to make a call on Justin Fields like you probably should.
A slew of questions from our YouTube stream. We'll go through them as quickly as we can. One is from our buddy Havoc, the Tennessee Titans fan. So, have you changed your mind about the Colts winning the AFC South? And that one was directed at me. No, but it's closer than I let on. No, but it's closer than I let on. And I'm starting to feel like the public impression. This is an old gambler's trick. I'm sure I've said this on this show a multitude of times. When the entire world goes one way, you go the other. Go the other. And I feel like now everybody has gone to the Colts to the point of where I'm sitting here going, I don't know that I'm on the right side of this. I feel like the love for Tennessee has gone away. There's been a ton of talk about Malik Willis. I'm going to give this 30 seconds. Stop doing that.
Mm-hmm.
The one pass I saw him throw, he had to throw it like a javelin. The one run he had was a broken play where he turned his back to the line. He is nowhere near ready to play. Ryan Tannehill is still your best bet.
Mm-hmm.
And if you told me I got 17 games for Ryan Tannehill, I think that team's way closer to Indianapolis than I did 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm. Patrick Willis may be a decent quarterback in this league, but not this year.
Malik Willis. Patrick Willis was a linebacker for the 49ers. That should be in the Hall of Fame.
Absolutely, he should be in the Hall of Fame.
And that's the line. It's the old Nancy Reagan line about pornography.
Mm-hmm.
I can't tell you what it is, but I know it when I see it.
Mm-hmm.
You lose your mind about Malik Willis, that's much ado about nothing.
It's great that you look great.
I want you to look great. That's the point. I'm putting you in a situation to look great.
But it's not time. It's not time to make these decisions. Sam Howell. Throw that out there.
Oh, yeah.
Sam Howell.
I don't know that you and I are going to see that the same way.
Oh, really?
I don't know that we're going to see that the same way.
You think he played horribly?
Not at all, actually. Not at all. I would be willing to take a doubloon bet right now that Sam Howell starts a game for the Washington Commanders before the season's over.
Okay.
And he should. I've been hearing this real low-key of Washington's going, I don't know how this guy got to us, but the fact that you took Matt Corral over him is hilarious to us. And I saw about what it was I was expecting to see.
And
that's not a shot at Carson Wentz.
Right, but not yet. That was the point I was making.
I want to see him by the end of the worst case scenario, I want to see him by the end of the year.
Mm-hmm. Sam looked good in the preseason game. But let's not start the
No,
Sam
he's going to need reps.
Start now.
Carson Wentz is your best chance to win games. Taylor Heineke is a pretty distant two, but ahead of Howell.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Howell's the future. I think he fits in with what you do. By the end of the year, Ron's safe. If things are not going your way and you've got 4 games where you know you're not making the playoffs, let's see what Sam can do.
Yep.
Let's see what Sam can do.
You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. Take a quick break, and then it's time to get weird.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Now, most of the thunderstorms tonight setting up shop to our east and heading away from us. Our low tonight 63 in the valley, some 50s with elevation. Chance for some hit-and-miss showers and comfortable temperatures the rest of the week with highs in the 70s, lows in the 50s and 60s. Looks like the best rain chances come in Wednesday for midweek. Could see some quarter-inch rainfall midweek on Wednesday. I'm meteorologist Scott Lariamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slow, 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 26 westbound slow between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 eastbound light delays between the French Broad River and the Blue Ridge Parkway. On Brevard Road northbound approaching Clayton Road and continuing to the Blue Ridge Parkway, north and southbound in this stretch near the NC Arboretum, traffic is very busy. Sweeten Creek Road north and southbound approaching Mills Gap Road slow. Hendersonville Road southbound light delays between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Overlook Road. I'm Lyndon Field with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Warehouse of Asheville.
It's the Labor Day sale at Mattress Warehouse. Save up to $1,000. Plus, get free next-day delivery. Don't lose sleep over it with mattresses starting at just $99. Get 0% interest financing and a 1-year price guarantee. Visit Mattress Warehouse.
Get in zone, AutoZone. Welcome to AutoZone. Thinking about gas mileage? If your check engine light is on, it may be affecting your MPGs, but the free AutoZone Fix Finder service can help. With the most complete free warning light report backed by technician-verified fixes, you'll know what's affecting your gas mileage and more, and you don't have to drive too far to find the fix. The free AutoZone Fix Finder service is available at all 6,200 stores. Get in the zone, AutoZone. See details at AutoZone.com.
There's a lot of talk about the COVID-19 vaccines, and everyone has an opinion. So I went to somebody I already trusted, my doctor. Talk to your doctor or healthcare provider and make the decision that's right for you. Go to getvaccineanswers.org for the latest information. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
DQ presents Picture this. Picture the burger of your dreams. It's on the new DQ Signature Stack Burgers menu. A lineup of 5 premium burgers like the Flamethrower Signature Stack Burger and loaded A1 Signature Stack Burger with 100% seasoned real beef patties, melty cheese, and a combo of top-notch toppings and sauces galore. This dream burger is calling your name. But it isn't a dream. You're ordering at the DQ drive-thru. Hello? The DQ Signature Stack Burgers lineup. Try it today. DQ, happy tastes good.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
Everyone's heard about the housing market and this being the best time to sell a house in years. But the same thing applies to cars. Whether you're looking to buy a car, trade in, or sell that car in the driveway collecting dust, Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville wants to buy your car. They have 2 on-site managers that work with Kelley Blue Book to give you top dollar for your vehicle. You can even have your car appraised instantly at AndersonNissan.com. Stop in and visit them today at 629 Brevard Road in Asheville or call them at 828-365-1663.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
Back here in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, it's time to get weird, and this is actually not that weird. I'm just gonna go out and say it because
it's weird.
Who was really ever put off by that old? So back in the day, back in the 90s,
back in the blockbuster times,
right? When you had when you got a VHS tape or even the first DVDs, and you put them in, and the commercial came on.
It was the original Don't Do Crimes.
Yeah, don't do crimes. Piracy is illegal, and it didn't have any words to it. All it did was flash up the text on the screen that piracy is theft and you shouldn't do this and all of that. The only thing that it did, according to a recent study, is actually induce people to pirate more videos. And I'm trying to figure out how they didn't know that.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. If we were both born in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
If you were born in the 80s, you have pirated enough things that you are the John Wayne Gotti of piracy. We all were.
Right.
If you know what Kazaa, LimeWire, any of those things, you know what those are?
Napster.
You did crimes, and a lot of them.
You were too young for Napster, weren't you?
No,
Napster was gone by the time
Napster was right on the backside.
Okay.
Because I couldn't figure out, wait a minute, you're paying to do these things that you can do over here for no money.
Right.
Both are crimes. Why are you paying for it?
The recent study that was done said, yep, it actually had the reverse effect. It didn't educate people on not pirating videos because they are, because it's illegal. It was, and they had the ones too. Remember, you wouldn't steal a CD, would you?
I just did it. Crate bangers. I just did it.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
I didn't do that. Okay.
Like theft.
Statute of limitations has got to be expired.
Theft is crimes. Don't do crimes. But I mean, look, I was also the kind when they started with the truth.com commercials on television. Remember the anti-smoking campaigns? Every time one of those came on, I wanted to go outside and have a cigarette. Just out of spite. Don't tell me what to do. And that's the effect that the anti-piracy video before every video that you ever got from a rental service.
I'm not saying I ever did that. I'm just saying that maybe in a hypothetical universe where I'm not actually saying that I did bad things, I used to look at that screen and go, that's not actually going to prevent me from, and it's a doozy of an idea.
Mm-hmm.
Hypothetically. I knew that. I was a law-abiding young mullet.
Don't tell me what to do. Because
Don't tell me how to live my life.
They're still going to do it. Right.
Somebody that loves to tell you not to tell him how to live his life.
Snoop Dogg.
Snoop Dogg.
He has a wine. He's got a marijuana product. And now he's got a breakfast cereal.
Does he really?
It's called Snoop Loops.
Snoop Loops.
First of all, A+ name. As the marketing guy, A+. Don't know who came up with that. Good for you. Basically what it is, it's Fruit Loops with the Lucky Charms marshmallows in it.
Okay.
Which for me, I do not partake in such things. But I could see a path that somebody would do some arboring, and that would potentially be just the happiest thing they've ever seen in their lives. And it has Snoop Dogg's face on it.
Absolutely.
When I heard this, I laughed, and I went, what does the green marshmallow? I'm sorry. Bet you it tastes like pine sol. You do that information what you want to.
So Snoop Loops are now available. Is it available everywhere? Is this only something that you can get online?
It's through Brodus Foods, and will be available nationwide over the coming weeks. One of my favorite things about this, do you know who put this out? It was not Snoop Dogg. There was a post on social media by a person that I was only 40% sure was still alive. It's Master P. Where did he go? I saw that pop up and I went, where have you been for the last 10 years? I remember you worked out for the Hornets. I haven't seen another album in, we'll say, a minute. And now you come out of hiding to market Snoop Dogg's breakfast cereal. Okay.
More corn, more flavor, more marshmallows.
I'm not going to lie to you. It looks absolutely divine.
And it's gluten-free? Is that what it?
I did
is that
not
what
know
I'm
that.
Seeing?
I didn't know that, but that certainly helps. I mean, that's a nice little benefit.
So this is what has inspired today's daily draft at the top of the third hour. After the Sports Center update at the top of the hour, we will be doing the daily draft, and we will be drafting breakfast cereals.
I think this is the most even playing field we have ever been on.
Could possibly be.
That was not a shot. It was, I have not known you for an extended period of time. I've known you since we started doing this show, right about 5 years. So I did not know little school tank. I'm going to assume that the depth of your cereal sugary knowledge is pretty deep.
It goes pretty deep.
I'm going to say it's pretty deep.
It does go pretty deep. Although I am weird because I like the weird things.
What's weird in breakfast cereal? Unless you say Special K or Raisin Bran. You chuck that out there, you immediately lose.
What, am I 80 years old? I mean, I know you make fun of me for that all the time. You make fun of me like I am.
I mean, based on your hat, you do look like you should be haggling over prices at a produce stand. That came from our social media.
Nice.
I had to give that one its flowers.
Nice. Oh, so many non-FCC authorized things that I would love to say to you right now.
Oh, yeah.
But
And the beauty of it is that I don't feel particularly good. So Tank having the heart that he does, he can't even do it when the mics go off.
I can't. So Snoop Loops are out. So we'll be drafting breakfast cereals at the top of the hour.
We have things. Our buddy Colin, double super chat into the Battle of the Belts.
Nice.
That's a thing you can do too. You can super chat 20 into the YouTube. I didn't even think of that. Horses, zebras.
Yeah.
Leave it to Colin. Wise fella.
And if you wonder what is that, well, you can just click on the link in our YouTube video, or you can go to the Patreon page, patreon.com/thesportsocracy. And we're doing fantasy football for charity once again this year, and we got the season-long DFS contest that will crown the best fantasy football player in Beer City with the battle for the belt.
And if you hate me and you think I am such an idiot and I don't know what I'm talking about, this is the immortal contest for you. Because this is my contest. And so I'm the one that has to crown you. I'm the one that has to give you the belt. which may or may not live around my shoulder for the better part of the next 4 months.
The hubris.
How many bars do I go to with the belt around my waist? Over, under 17 and a half.
You better go to more than that when you finally pay off the Guinness Book World Records thing.
That's a great idea. I could wear it whilst doing that.
Jeremy likes that idea.
Good.
We are reacting and overreacting to the first week of the NFL preseason. And let's talk about the Philadelphia Eagles. Jeremy, you've been sold that this team is going to walk this division in the NFC East. And Jalen Hurts had as good of a preseason start as you can imagine.
Let me put it this way. Either that offense is exponentially more dangerous than it was, or my team is poopy.
Might be a little bit of both.
Well, here's the thing. It happened to Sauce Gardner, too. It was across the board. I loved the way it was called. I loved the fire in Sirianni. There was a hit out of bounds where, first of all, I have to say this, because there were 3 separate quarterbacks that did this. In the preseason, get down. Stop trying to extend the play. Nobody cares. Get down. Anyway, I rambled. HWA heard that no less than 40 times over the weekend.
Slide before contact can be made.
Don't even give somebody the chance.
Yeah, exactly.
You have a bunch of guys here that are trying to make their name and make the roster.
Right.
What do you think is going to happen when you step 1 foot out of bounds like, oh, base, I hit base, you can't, blow. That's exactly what's going to happen every single time.
Oh, yeah. I thought kind of the same thing after I saw the touchdown pass. The touchdown pass from Jalen Hurts to Dallas Goedert, and Goedert went airborne to get into the end zone. I'm like, dude,
don't do that.
You're putting the whole season in danger. Like, you could have just come down wrong on that elbow and season over.
That Philadelphia team is very talented, and I'm going to tell you this. I have never been more convinced of what I'm getting ready to tell you. They are going to house the Dallas Cowboys twice. Because I'll tell you what I saw in that game. I saw Jordan Davis, everything he was billed to be, and more. I'll tell you another thing I saw in that few series of the starters. Nakobe Dean. He's just fine.
Dog.
And that's going to look very smart from Mr. Roseman very quickly.
Just as I had expected.
Jordan Davis was everywhere. I don't know that I've ever seen an interior defensive lineman have that good of a couple series in the preseason. It was mind-boggling. Every time I turned around, he was right there. So I walked away from it more impressed by Philadelphia than I was.
Do you feel differently about all that he's not a pass rusher kind of thing that you were touting during the draft?
No. I think he's going to be a 2-down situational, and they'll chuck him out there. I think he's going to rotate with Javon Hargrave, which really makes me just love that defense. I'm convinced the Philadelphia Eagles are the team that everybody's sleeping on. And I'm not saying that because I have a slew of Eagles fans that follow me because I've done podcasts. I don't care.
Right.
That team's very, very good. And I have to get this off my chest.
Okay.
All right. The name's on the door, so I can do these things. I get that Philadelphia booed Santa Claus. And they cheered Michael Irvin when he got hurt. And all of those things. That was a long time ago. I heard from more Eagles fans that have never laid eyes on me. Just checking, are you good? And a slew of people that listen to this show that have no affiliation to the Jets or the Eagles, either one. I'm starting to think maybe that Philadelphia thing is a bit overrated. That they're the worst fan base in the world. The ones I talked to were not. They were phenomenal.
Well, they are a very passionate fan base, and you can get down with that to a certain extent. But when you start eating poo off the sidewalk in celebration of a Super Bowl, then everybody gets some stink on them from that. No pun intended. It's just one of those things. It's an easy mark to take against Philadelphia Eagles fans or any Philadelphia sports fan. just because of how bad some of their fan base can be. We've all
well, I mean,
I feel like we've always
every
said,
fan base has. There's that guy,
no doubt. But
I just
feel like it happens
they catch
in Philly
a lot
more
of,
than anywhere else.
They catch a lot of flack.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to say that was not my interaction. There were a lot of people, and like I said, even more people that listen to this show that just sent me a message like, "You good?" And if you got a winky face back, it's because the time had passed where responses were capable, because it did not go my way.
Right. So the Philadelphia Eagles, Jalen Hurts looked good. He was perfect in the debut. He survived the hit from Quincy Williams, so everything went about as well as you can imagine.
That team's very, very good.
And I would think that from here on, like going into next week, what is the next step for these teams? What is everybody going to do? Are we treating this like just so if you played a series, like you played a series this week, are you going to play a quarter?
Next week's the dress rehearsal. It depends on who the coach is. For Sean McVay, that means absolutely nothing.
No,
which means they're going to be
anyway.
trotting out Lance McCutcheon and Bryce Perkins. Notice we haven't talked about the Rams because there was nothing there.
Right.
There's another team that I want to talk about. I was asked about it in the chat, the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think you're going to see a clear delineation in the next preseason game. After the break, I'll tell you what that is.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Delays 240 eastbound on the Captain Jeff Bowen Bridge. An accident reported. 26 westbound busy between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. Light delays 26 eastbound between the French Broad River and the Blue Ridge Parkway. Sweden Creek Road north and southbound approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. Hendersonville Road northbound approaching Mills Gap Road also delays. Light delays near Avery Creek. Boulevard Road northbound approaching Long Shoals Road. Again, Boulevard Road north and southbound delays between Clayton Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway near the North Carolina Arboretum. I'm Lyndon Fuel with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Warehouse of Asheville.
It's the Labor Day sale at Mattress Warehouse. Save up to $1,000. Plus, get free next-day delivery. Don't lose sleep over it. With mattresses starting at just $99. Get 0% interest financing and a 1-year price guarantee. Visit Mattress Warehouse.
Hey you! Do you like sports? Of course you do. But how much do you actually know about the history of sports in this country? If you're not 100% sure about that, check out the new podcast, The Untold History of Sports in America, presented by One Day University. This podcast celebrates the ceremony and examines the controversial storylines around sports in America. Listen to The Untold History of Sports in America from One Day University on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in Western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
When I finally drove the old car into the grave, I knew there was only one place I was going to go. Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville, home of the family plan. And yes, they treat you like family. I went in, told them what I was looking for, told them my budget, and in no time, I was signing the paperwork on my certified pre-owned vehicle. They have the area's largest selection on quality pre-owned vehicles and certified Nissans. They go through a 167-point inspection, so you know it's not going to let you down. They gave me the Carfax report, so I know the history of my vehicle. And the Fred Anderson family plan gives me things like oil changes and car washes and loaner cars if I have to have major work done on the car in the future. For me, buying a car has always been an intimidating thought. But the folks at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville made it super easy. Don't be like me. Don't wait till the last minute to get a deal done. Go to AndersonNissan.com or or stop by the showroom at 629 Brevard Road. And don't forget to mention we sent you from the Sportsocracy and get a $250 bonus on your trade-in at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I am Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
The Sportsocracy.
You were just dumbing a bag of hammers.
It is the Sportsocracy. Check us out on YouTube.com/the Sportsocracy. Watch us live every weekday afternoon right here from the Ingles Studio from 3 to 6. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you can join us in the chat. The Pittsburgh Steelers got a win in week 1 of the preseason over the Seattle Seahawks. All 3 quarterbacks that played for the Steelers led touchdown drives. Mitchell Trubisky, pretty good drive that he led from where'd they start at, like the 10-yard line.
Mitch he's the starter. There is zero doubt in my mind.
Mm-hmm. Kenny Pickett, the cries have begun. Fans chanting Kenny's name as he led a touchdown drive, which ended up being the game winner.
Yeah, it was also about 6 yards at a time. That's how. Okay, yeah, maybe calm down.
Hey, that's all I'm looking for.
I say I didn't. I saw, if you had to rank the rookies in terms of most ready to least ready based off what you saw in 1 week.
Oh. Sam's going to be high.
Sam's 1.
Sam's
1 to me. Kenny Pickett's 2.
Okay.
Kenny Pickett's 2. Malik Willis is 3. But he's very close to Desmond Ridder.
Mm-hmm.
I almost put Desmond Ridder ahead of him. But Drake London going down
and Matt Corral
the pieces.
Is,
Matt Corral is 74.
I was going to say Matt Corral's just barely above Bailey Zappi.
Nope, he's not for me.
He's not.
Nope. Bailey, watch me throw punts to wide receivers. Zap is more ready than Matt Corral.
Okay.
But I do feel like, who's the first rookie to start? I could make I could make an argument. I don't know any of them start a game until double-digit weeks. Barring injury.
I would agree with that. Barring injury, I think Desmond maybe will be the first. I just don't.
I want to agree with that,
but I don't see it going well with Marcus Mariota.
I'm
sure it'll be okay.
He was fine. I look at Atlanta and go, you know what you are.
Mm-hmm.
So who puts you in a better position? Because Atlanta's trying to develop everybody. That's one of the youngest teams in the NFL. So who helps you develop better? It's Marcus Mariota.
But I can see a path where they're also 1-10 at week 11.
I could too. And I think that's how this goes.
Right.
Teams fall out of contention,
mm-hmm.
and that's when you start seeing the rookies.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm not sure I really feel great about any quarterback outside of Sam Howell. And that's one that I'm going to die on the shield.
I think Sam's he may end up being the second to start.
I wouldn't be shocked. Depends how the Washington season goes.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that team is better. I believe that team is better than a lot of other people do. And I've heard the Antonio Gibson thing. That is one name I am painfully tired of hearing. But he fumbled. What about Brian Robinson? What about him?
Right.
He's good for 115 touches all year long.
Mm-hmm.
J.D. McKissick's probably good for $150, and you'll see another 300 out of Antonio Gibson.
Mm-hmm.
But he played with the twos. That's Ron Rivera. It's Ron Rivera for you.
Mm-hmm.
You fumbled with the ones. I'm going to punish you by putting you out there with the twos.
Yep, I'm going to make an example out of you.
He's old school football coach.
Mm-hmm.
I have seen more gnashing of teeth about Antonio Gibson than any, I'll say, top 4-round player.
Uh-huh.
Just people losing their minds about him. Makes zero sense.
Because fans buy into that kind of crap. Fans buy into the, oh, he got benched. Yeah, because it's the preseason, and Ron's trying to assert his authority.
Yeah, I mean, he had fumble issues last year.
Mm-hmm.
It led to him having the 4th most touches among running backs in the NFL.
Exactly.
And he'll do it again.
Yes.
Now, is he going to be particularly good with it? That's another debate.
I think he will.
I mean, he averaged 3.8 yards per carry last year.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not really good.
It's not good, but still better than what you think the others could do.
Actually, I kind of liked Brian Robinson as a piece. I look at Washington and go, you have a lot of dudes. They have 4 running backs. I like Jahan Dotson was impressive to me. Seeing him out there in 2 receiver sets was, I'm not going to say it was shocking. It was shocking from where the evaluation started of he's a slot guy, he's a slot guy, he's a slot guy. Washington doesn't view him that way.
He's an athlete.
He played outside more than he played in the slot, which is that's very telling to me. Curtis Samuel played almost exclusively in the slot. So, I mean, I think Washington's going to be fine. I don't think it's going to be necessarily pretty at all times.
Right.
This is not one of those teams that you broker the NFL Films recording of, look at this beautiful offense. Ugh. There are times it will look like a septic tank, but
I was going to say there are also going to be times where it looks pretty swift.
I think Carson Wentz will be fine.
Mm-hmm.
I think Washington will be fine.
Carson Wentz was fine last year in Indianapolis. People just forget that.
Well, because he didn't do anything special.
Right.
He was just the definition of a game manager.
Because when it came late in the season and he was needed to make plays to win games and get you into the playoffs, he didn't get it done. And so people just automatically think, oh, well, he's washed. He's not a good NFL quarterback anymore. Everybody wanted to believe all of the reports from camp that, oh, he's been terrible and he looks horrible, and everybody lost their minds over the reporter asking him blunt questions in an interview, which I actually kind of stand behind. I love it when reporters will actually ask real questions to these football players.
As opposed to puff pieces, which are really annoying.
Exactly. They called him unprofessional. I thought it was a hell of an interview because it puts you on the spot. Part of your decision-making, part of your process as making it in the NFL is decision-making.
Mm-hmm.
And that comes in interviews as well, in my opinion. But people automatically think that Carson Wentz is just toast. And I don't kind of buy that. But I also believe that at some point this season, they're going to cash it in and go, yeah, maybe we should start Sam Howell. Sports Center update coming up in just a few seconds. We got the daily draft. Afterward, we're going to be drafting breakfast cereals. Stick around.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Now, most of the thunderstorms tonight setting up shop to our east and heading away from us. Our low tonight 63 in the valley, some 50s with elevation. Chance for some hit-and-miss showers and comfortable temperatures the rest of the week with highs in the 70s, lows in the 50s and 60s. Looks like the best rain chances come in Wednesday for midweek. Could see some quarter-inch rainfall midweek on Wednesday. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Delays 240 eastbound on the Captain Jeff Bowen Bridge. An accident reported. 26 westbound busy between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. Light delays 26 eastbound between the French Broad River and the Blue Ridge Parkway. Sweden Creek Road north and southbound approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. Hendersonville Road northbound approaching Mills Gap Road also delays. Light delays near Avery Creek. Boulevard Road northbound approaching Long Shoals Road. Again, Boulevard Road north and southbound delays between Clayton Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway near the North Carolina Arboretum. I'm Lyndon Fuel with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Northern Tool and Equipment. It's time to power shop at Northern Tool and Equipment. Save up to 60% on pressure washers, sprayers, generators, fans, lawn and garden equipment, and more. Find hundreds of deals in store or at northerntool.com.
Staples has everything you need for school at prices that won't hold you back. Right now, Crayola 24-count crayons and 4-ounce Elmer's glue are just 50 cents each, plus 1-inch binders are only $1.99. In-store only offer ends 8/26, limit 30. Don't send your kids back to school, send them forward at Staples.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. The Texas Rangers fire manager Chris Woodward today. The team is 51-63 after spending big in the offseason. Third base coach Tony Beasley is the interim manager for the rest of the year. The Yankees have lost 9 of 11. They're 8-15 since the All-Star break. They still have a 10-game lead in their division, but ESPN's Alex Rodriguez believes the Yankees got worse instead of better at the trade deadline.
A lot of things that make you wonder, and when you talk to Yankee fans, they're furious, they're impatient, and they think this year's getting away.
Alex Rodriguez on the K-Rod cast Sunday night on ESPN2. The Associated Press preseason college football poll is out. Alabama, number 1 for the second year in a row and 9th time overall. Ohio State, 2. Defending champ Georgia, 3rd. Clemson, 4th. And Notre Dame, 5th. NFL officials were told to watch carefully for illegal contact on quarterbacks this year. So far, it's working. ESPN's Kevin Seifert reports during the first preseason weekend, there were 15 flags for contact.
The new Venture X card from Capital One. Earn 10x miles on hotels and rental cars and 5x miles on flights when you book through Capital One Travel, plus 2x miles on all other purchases. Capital One. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Now, your chance at $1,000 and a trip to our 2022 iHeartRadio Music Festival. Text the nationwide keyword FESTIVAL to 200-200. You'll get a confirmation text and info. Standard data and message rates apply in this nationwide contest. That's FESTIVAL to 200-200.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Greene, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets and Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
And welcome back into the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. We're always brought to you by Ingles Supermarkets. Low prices, love the savings, and coming to you live all the time from the Ingles Studio.
Ingles a great place to pick up all of the things we're about to pick in the daily draft. It's the best breakfast cereals.
Yeah, daily draft time here at the top of the third hour, as we do each and every weekday afternoon. And, we don't have to always stick to sports. Because
with Snoop Dogg's Snoop Loops coming out. Now here's the question. Can we put that in here even though we haven't eaten it?
No. This has to be cereal
that was my strategery.
Well, I mean, the cereal already exists. You do know that, right? Fruit Loops makes a cereal with the marshmallows in it.
It's not the same.
Just like the Lucky Charms.
Not the same. Doesn't have Snoop Dogg on it.
Well, I mean, you could put a picture of Calvin on there if you want to.
Don't care.
And then
this is Snoop Dogg cereal, which means it is far superior.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm very intrigued, and I will be trying the Snoop Loops cereal.
Maybe
is
with
there
a gin and juice?
in there? Am I screwing it
Yeah,
up?
it's just Snoop Loops.
Snoop Loops with a Z.
With a Z.
Yeah. Snoop Loops has come out, and it's basically Fruit Loops with the marshmallows from the Lucky Charms cereal.
That's fine. It's not the same. I want Snoop Dogg's. And I want it right here in my face.
In your face hole. We are drafting breakfast cereals on today's Daily Draft, and I have the first pick. And so for me, it's always been, I have always had one go-to sugary cereal my entire life. There is no other cereal that is more flavorful, that makes your milk taste like heaven on earth than Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
I don't like you even a little bit.
That is the number one best cereal in my book out there. You can eat it dry. You don't have to have milk with it. You can even put chocolate milk in it, and it's pretty good.
Oh, secret time? I've never had a chocolate milk in my entire life.
Well, you are a weirdo.
The thought repulses me. I like milk. Chocolate's fine. I don't jump up and down about chocolate. It's just not a. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I like salad dressing better than I like chocolate, and it's not really all that close. Mm-hmm. Just weird that I somehow managed to get fat.
So for me, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, it's the number one. Happy to make that my first pick in the daily draft.
Well, that is not what I wanted to happen, because that was also my number one.
All right.
I feel like I have to go the No Doubters. Mm-hmm. I feel like I have to back-to-back, because no matter what I do, if I don't, I'm going to lose. So the first one's Fruit Loops. Fruit Loops, just divine. And you know what? I think there's a possibility you don't take the one that I want to say right here. If you do, I am going to yell a lot of, hopefully not bad words.
Obscenities, yeah.
So I'm going to go Lucky Charms.
Lucky Charms.
I think that's the two. Oh, it chalk. No doubt. Not over the top. Nothing spicy. Those are the two.
Wow. Those are the two. All right. I've never been a fan of Lucky Charms.
There are a slew that you can say that I've never eaten in my life. This is one of those of, if you know me as well as you think you do, you should be able to just drag me on this.
Mm-hmm. Because
there are very popular cereals that I've never eaten in my life.
Really?
Oh, yeah. When you hit one, I'll tell you.
Interesting. Yeah, you could have waited until the very last pick to take Lucky Charms, because it wasn't even going to be on my list.
Well, here's the thing. It should be.
I never liked the cereal. I mean, the marshmallows were good.
The cereal got this, it's almost hard to explain, where it wasn't crunchy.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of cereals that just eviscerate your mouth.
Yes.
Like you were eating razor blades.
Yes.
I'm not a fan of really any of those.
Okay.
So you can take that for however you want to.
Fifth pick, locked in.
Yeah, because it will not be mine, I promise you. I like the consistency of Lucky Charms once it's been in the bowl for a minute. Then you get the marshmallows. Divine.
Okay. All right. That's another thing. I don't really like soggy cereal, but you have to know when is the time. Like,
which
how
goes
fast
in first, milk or cereal?
Cereal.
You're right.
Cereal goes in first.
I want to disagree with you because it's what I do, but
well, that's
right.
how you judge. You put in how much ever cereal you want in your bowl, and then you put the milk in, and you know when to stop with the milk when the cereal lifts. It's very simple. That way you don't overserve yourself.
And you know who taught him that? Bill Nye, the science guy.
Yep. Bill. Absolutely right. All right, number 2 pick for me, after Jeremy took Fruit Loops and Lucky Charms.
Always remember, I am a notorious dirtiest player in the game. So before you push something down, just remember that.
Mm-hmm. Golden Grams. Golden Grams is my 2.
I'm going to be honest. I'm perfectly okay with that because I don't like honey at all. I am mortified by bee butt juice. I'm good. I'm good.
Okay, and today was the day we learned how Jeremy doesn't know how honey's made.
Nope, sure don't. Right. I don't know how they do it. They could be in there cavorting. I have no idea. I just know bees went in, honey came out. Out. I don't know what happened in there. You can tell me you know all you want to. Were you in there? Were you in there with the bees? Do you know what they did? I didn't think so. Move on.
They spit on it. You just mix the spit and the pollen, and it all becomes wonderful golden goodness.
Out. I don't like caramel either. Just
Golden Grams, great. Again, another one. Chocolate milk. If you've never done Golden Grams with the chocolate milk, that will change your life. Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I made that. I made that suggestion last time. It's not as good. Golden Grams with the chocolate milk is the only way to go. My father-in-law taught me that. And then with my next pick. I don't know. I mean, there is.
This is where I was afraid you were going to say one that was going to make me say bad things. Because if there's one that if you take it right here, I will immediately say, yeah, I lost. I lost, and I'm not happy about it.
Well, I feel like you've already lost.
I disagree.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait on that one. And you know what? I'm just gonna go with one of the tried and trues. One of the tried and trues, one of the most popular breakfast cereals out there is Frosted Flakes. It's classic, it's sugary, it's wonderful. The only problem with Frosted Flakes is, it's what I was getting ready to say, it was one of those cereals that you have to know how fast you have to eat it.
Oh, yeah.
You have to hork down Frosted Flakes so they don't become just
mushy,
gross and nasty. But those first 15 seconds, heaven on earth.
I feel like I have officially smoked you. Because you left me. I am literally getting my 4 favorite cereals.
Okay.
You have yet to pick one other than Cinnamon Toast Crunch. It would have been in the top 5 somewhere.
All right.
Apple Jacks.
Oh,
which are just
God,
amazing. Apple Jacks are like happiness. That's like a hug from your mother and just a warm July day and all the happiness.
Leave it to me to screw that up. I should have gone to Apple Jacks.
And the other one is, this one's a little off the board. This might be a little bit of a reach. This is my favorite cereal of all time.
Okay.
It is the Cookie Crisp.
Yeah, I'm out.
Oh, I loved Cookie Crisp.
Out on the Cookie
You
Crisp.
tell me I can eat cookies for breakfast? Seacrest in. And I don't even like chocolate.
Seacrest in.
I felt like I was doing something bad. Like I felt like it was dirty and wonderful and I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
I loved Cookie Crisp. I knew you wouldn't care about that one because you're not as much a cookie guy as I am.
Right.
But Apple Jacks I felt pretty formidable about.
Do not like the there's some in the chat that do not like the Frosted Flakes pick there.
And to me, they shouldn't.
What is your beef with Frosted Flakes?
It's basic. It's like me. It's basic.
It's basic.
It's basic.
So basic. And then you went Cookie Crisp to follow that up?
I did.
Interesting. All right. So I've got 2 back-to-back here, 4th and 5th picks.
You got 2 back-to-back, and I feel like there's really no shot I'm going to get the one I want. I've already mentally chalked that up, and I'm fine with it.
You're not going to get the one you want?
There's another one that I really wanted that I know I'm not. I feel very sure I'm not going to get.
Okay. All right. You know, I do like chocolate. I love chocolate. And if you can take a chocolate cereal that, you know, you get the actual chocolate cereal, but you also throw in little chocolate marshmallows with it, home run.
Formidable.
Count Chocula.
Formidable.
The Count Chocula cereal lands on the list.
I can get down with that.
And part of me wants to do another one of the monster cereals, but I'm not gonna, because I don't think anybody else likes that cereal except for me. And that would be the Boo Berry.
Yeah, I'm not. You can have the Boo Berry.
Never been a fan of the Frankenberry, but it goes Count Chocula, Boo Berry, 10 Miles of Dirt, and then the Frankenberry. Not a big fan of the strawberry flavor. And then with my last pick, I got to do and I'm going Captain Crunch. Captain Crunch is amazing.
Which Captain Crunch?
Crunch Berries.
Okay.
You have to do the one with the Crunch Berries.
No, there's a lot of Captain Crunches.
It just took it to a whole nother level. You had the sweet corn cereal that would just destroy your mouth.
Oh, yeah. That one was horrible.
I mean, you came out feeling like you had just, went 10 rounds with a razor blade.
It was not good.
But then they added in the Crunch Berries, and it was a whole new world. It's like a whole new world that just opened up for us. So I'm going Captain Crunch with the Crunch Berries.
I will show you Crunch Berries.
All right, Jeremy, your final pick in the daily draft.
Crunch Berry was the one I wanted. I didn't care that it eviscerated my mouth. I feel like no matter... You know what? I can't bypass this because it has the same thing as the Cookie Crisp. The Reese's Puff, the peanut butter, I can't bypass that. It was too good.
Mm-hmm.
Anything Reese's, I'm immediately in.
Your favorite brand of cereal is, do you care? Are you brand loyal?
Oh, yeah.
Like General Mills and the parent companies, Quaker Oats.
Oh, yeah. I don't. Cereal is one thing that I do not vary. I like what I like, and I'm not changing it up.
You don't buy the bags of cereal?
No. No. Not that there's anything wrong with that. It's just not for me. I don't eat enough cereal to do that.
Right. Okay. All right, now it's UDFA time. Undrafted free agent time. We'll both say a cereal at the count of 3, and there's no chance, I don't feel like, that we're going to say the exact same cereal here.
Are you saying one that you've already said?
No.
Okay.
Why?
Then there is a chance for saying the same one.
Then there's the I don't think so, because you already told me you're completely out, but I have to take one of my all-time favorite cereals. All right, ready? 3, 2, 1.
Trix.
Frosted Mini Wheats. Frosted Mini Wheats. It's the best of both worlds. It's actually the sugary cereal that you could kind of get your mom to, she's like, I've been buying you all of the chocolate cookie crisps and all of the things. You need a healthy cereal this time.
Nope.
Okay, Frosted Mini Wheats.
Healthy cereal? Look, here's the thing. That can live in our house until the end of time. Or I can have the bad for me cereal, and I might eat it once a week. Trix always been underrated to me.
It was just one of those that got really old to me.
It did, but I didn't eat it very often.
Yeah.
I probably ate 10 boxes of Trix in my entire childhood.
I think I did one of those things where it was the only thing that I ate for the entire summer when I was 8 years old. And,
so it was on the never again list.
And just never again. Just cannot do it. All right, so I think we did a pretty good job here.
The chat so far seems to be saying that I'm the winner, but we will actually put it out on the socials.
I mean, I'll give you the Apple Jacks. I completely botched that one.
I
but
apologize.
Other than that, I like all of mine better than
I apologize for slacking on getting the polls out. The battle for the belt has taken copious amounts of my time, but now it's set up and available for you to sign into.
All right, so I've got Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Golden Grams, Frosted Flakes, Count Chocula, Captain Crunch with the Crunch Berries, and Frosted Mini Wheats. Jeremy comes with Fruit Loops, Lucky Charms, Apple Jacks, Cookie Crisp, the Reese's Puff cereal, and Trix.
Yeah, when I heard it that way, smoked. That looked like Justin Fields from week 1 to week 18. Just smoked.
You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slowing 26 westbound west of Airport Road to the Blue Ridge Parkway. Light delays 26 eastbound east of Brevard Road to the French Broad River. Haywood County 40 westbound stop and go between US 276 and Fines Creek Road. Near Avery Creek, Brevard Road northbound approaching Long Shoals Road is slowing. Sweeten Creek Road southbound approaching Mills Gap Road delays. Checking the drive time from Swannanoa to Asheville via 40 westbound and 240 westbound. Drive time 17 minutes. I'm Lyndon Peel with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. Fall into autumn hiring with Indeed. Their all-in-one solution makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates. Sponsor a job and immediately get a short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Suffering from hair loss, bald spots, or receding hairlines? There's a new solution using regenerative medicine that can stimulate hair follicles and give you thicker, fuller hair with no surgery. It's available from the regenerative specialists at QC Kinetics. That's right, the same protocols that help relieve joint pain can be used to give new life to dormant hair follicles. QC Kinetics uses powerful growth factors from your own body, concentrated and applied to your scalp, restoring hair follicles, prevent further loss, and increase hair growth. Regenerative medicine is such a breakthrough. Imagine thicker, fuller hair with no expensive surgery and no downtime. Listen, if you're losing your hair due to aging, pattern baldness, or a medical condition, again. Call now to learn more about exciting natural biologic treatments that can stimulate those dormant hair follicles. You can get your hair back. Get it growing naturally again. Call for a free consultation. Stop thinning hair now. 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517.
It's the best pro shop's night race at Bristol Motor Speedway. And it's a cutoff race in the NASCAR playoffs. You remember what happened last year, right? September 17th. Go to BristolMotorspeedway.com and get your tickets before they're gone.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I am Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
Attention, it's time for the morning announcements. Make sure your parents are aware of the Ingles Tools for Schools program and ask them to link their Ingles Advantage card to our school. Remember, you have to do it each year. Now please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Everyone's heard about the housing market and this being the best time to sell a house in years. But the same thing applies to cars. Whether you're looking to buy a car, trade in, or sell that car in the driveway collecting dust, Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville wants to buy your car. They have 2 on-site managers that work with Kelley Blue Book to give you top dollar for your vehicle. You can even have your car appraised instantly at AndersonNissan.com. Stop in and visit them today at 629 Brevard Road, Nashville, or call them at 828-365-1663.
You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. Jumped the gun a little bit there on the crimes, but we'll get to that. Don't do crimes coming up after the next break. Eric Miller in the comments on YouTube said no, he's shocked that nobody said Cheerios. What are we 80?
I mean, look, I like Cheerios, but I really liked them in a bag when I was in my car seat with my banky.
Apple cinnamon Cheerios
all the way in. I'll eat that out of the bag. I'll eat that out of the bag with my fist. I don't need a bowl. I don't need cereal. I'll eat it right out of the box.
Honey Nut Cheerios, not bad.
They're fine.
They're better than regular Cheerios.
They're fine.
Somebody tells me they're eating Cheerios. I go, what, you got heart problems? It's the only positive to eating Cheerios.
Was there any player this week that completely shocked you?
That completely shocked me?
That you have now skyrocketed up boards. Now it's a guy you're targeting in every fantasy league. Because for me, there was.
Who was it?
Dameon Pierce. Dameon Pierce is the best running back for the Houston Texans by 11 billion times. Marlon Mack is now completely irrelevant. I won't be shocked if he's the one week 1.
Really?
And now I'm not sure he's not the rookie running back that I like the most.
He was already on my radar. And so I've already got him in Dynasty, and I don't care.
I like Dameon Pierce a lot.
But he had a great weekend.
George Pickens is another guy that I was, okay, all right. I mean, I'm not running out. This would be our complimentary Romeo Dubs mention of the day.
Right. The toe tap in the end zone was amazing.
He a dog.
Yeah, George Pickens, I felt like he was good at Georgia. He was injured, obviously. We didn't get to see a whole lot of him, but he was going to come into the league and be fine. And you saw on the touchdown pass from Mason Rudolph, it looks pretty damn good. I love that being that young and being aware. Like, that's one of the things that I worry about with receivers coming out of college is, are you gonna have the immediate awareness to get the 2 toes in like you have to? You don't have to in college.
All right, I don't want to talk about this for an extended period of time, so I'll press it right up against a break.
Okay.
With 1 being absolutely 0.
and 10 being as worried as you could possibly be.
Mm-hmm.
How worried are you about Deshaun Watson?
6.
I'm higher, but not by much.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say it's a 7.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I will say the report going around that the year-long suspension is a lock, I'm going to beg to differ. If it was a lock, we would have known about it long ago.
Mm-hmm.
They know. The NFL is trying to figure out what can we do where this just stops. I will reiterate, I think it's 8. He comes back after the bye week. It makes me nervous that he was as bad as he was. He looked like a quarterback that hadn't played in 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think being away from the team for 8 weeks is going to make that any better.
Probably not. But part of me thinks that's to be expected. At least some of it is to be expected.
It is. I'm just afraid that you're going to see closer to what you saw over the weekend against Jacksonville than what you're used to seeing out of Deshaun Watson.
Mm-hmm.
With him missing 8 games, and look, we've been over the schedule and all the things. With him missing those first 8 games, he needs to show up A1 since day one.
Yep, ready to go.
And I just don't see a path that's going to happen.
Yeah,
I think it's going to take 2 weeks before he is really acclimated. And by that time, it could be too late. I'm not saying it definitively is. That's the reason not a 10. But I can't go lower than 7.
There's only so many practice reps that can help you.
I mean, that's the thing. He
real
can't.
time.
He can't practice during the suspension.
I know. But I'm saying even at this stage, like I'm trying to explain away the god awful performance that we saw against the Jacksonville Jaguars. There's only so many reps that practice can help you with. And how much practice has he gotten in 2 years?
He looked very rusty.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's how it's going to look over time. So I'm not selling all of the Cleveland Brown stock. I'm not. I still think Nick Chubb is fine. I don't want any of the receivers.
Mm-hmm.
And I really don't care who it is. Njoku, maybe, if I'm just absolutely have no other option. But I will avoid Cleveland.
Yeah.
Really at all costs.
There was part of me that wanted to see Deshaun come out and just look like he hadn't missed a step, but that was fantasy land.
Oh, absolutely.
We should have all known that there was going to be some rust. Now, 1 for 7 for 5 yards? You got some explaining to do. You got a lot of work to do, buddy.
Well, I watched it several times, and it looked like a guy that's out of rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
Just like if you didn't drive a car for 2 years. Hopping on the interstate's probably not a good idea. Probably get acclimated first. And that's what it looked like to me. It looked to me like a guy that this was not normal for somebody that has played as much football as he has. This has become almost foreign, and it's going to take some time to get right.
This is the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. Coming up, the most important part of the day.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Now, most of the thunderstorms tonight setting up shop to our east and heading away from us. Our low tonight 63 in the valley, some 50s with elevation. Chance for some hit-and-miss showers and comfortable temperatures the rest of the week with highs in the 70s, lows in the 50s and 60s. Looks like the best rain chances come in Wednesday for midweek. Could see some quarter-inch rainfall midweek on Wednesday. I'm meteorologist Scott Lariamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slowing 26 westbound west of Airport Road to the Blue Ridge Parkway. Light delays 26 eastbound east of Brevard Road to the French Broad River. Haywood County 40 westbound stop and go between US 276 and Fines Creek Road. Near Avery Creek, Brevard Road northbound approaching Long Shoals Road is slowing. Sweeten Creek Road southbound approaching Mills Gap Road delays. Checking the drive time from Swannanoa to Asheville via 40 westbound and 240 westbound. Drive time 17 minutes. I'm Lyndon Peel with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Pfizer and BioNTech. Charging a cell phone can be like getting a booster shot. A booster is given to enhance or restore protection after a primary series vaccination, which wanes over time. Schedule an appointment when you are eligible. Sponsored by Pfizer and BioNTech.
This is a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup sound experiment. We're looking to find the perfect way to hear Reese's so you'll buy more of them. Here we go. Reese's. Reese's. Reese's.
Reese's.
Reese's. Hey, get out of here, you little stinker. Reese's.
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 Peanut butter cups. That breathy one sounded very creepy, am I right?
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in Western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
Welcome back into the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, coming to you live from the Ingles Studio, and it's time for the most important message of the day. Don't do crimes. My story today comes to us from Auckland, New Zealand, where it's not said in the story how these people ended up with, well, what the cops put as unowned property at their home. But what I imagine this is sort of like, did you ever watch that show on A&E where you went to the storage units?
Storage Wars.
Yeah, Storage Wars.
Yep.
And you bought storage units and you took the stuff and then you try to resell it. I don't know if that's what these people were doing, but they went to a storage building. They picked up a trailer all full of stuff, like I said, that the police say was unowned property that they brought back to their address. They did this on a Friday. By Monday, the smell around the neighborhood was so bad that people started calling and complaining to the local officials that something is up. One neighbor said that there was no doubt where the smell was coming from. It was coming from inside the trailer that these people had brought from the storage unit. Well, lo and behold, they found something in there that they weren't counting on. They found human remains.
Yep, so where that was headed. It's Dave! Dave!
Yeah. Police obviously cordoned off the area, started a homicide investigation. The people are just innocent bystanders at this point because, again, it was not their property that they took out of the storage unit.
Why you put a dead guy in your storage unit?
I don't know. That's the crimes part. Like,
I feel like there's much. I mean, don't do crimes. Obviously,
were you saving Uncle Earl for a later date, or was this something more nefarious?
Absolutely.
Obviously,
I don't think you keep Dave in your storage unit because you're still building the box to put him in.
Right. Police are doing their investigation. They are trying to figure out exactly who this person was and who needs to, serve time for doing the crimes.
It's always bad when people do crimes. It's even worse when police people do crimes. This story comes from Newton, Massachusetts. The Newton Police Department had a director of social media advertising.
Okay.
Basically, this was the guy that did web interactions. Basically, it was the webmaster.
Mm-hmm.
ran the website. Well, a few weeks ago, he put in his 2-week notice. And when he put in his 2-week notice, he said that the police department owed him $137,000 in compensatory time that they had not paid him.
Interesting.
2 weeks come and go. His last day happens. No payment.
Mm-hmm.
So he took a rather aggressive step. He shut down all of their websites, all of the social media, and then disappeared. Will not answer calls, will not say anything, to the point of they've had to start another website while the legal process takes hold. I'm going to say something. As somebody that does websites and social media, there are some people in your life that you should just give them what they want.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever runs your website, it's one of those guys. Your mailman, one of those guys. They know where everything is. There's no secrets. Be nice to that guy. They can hurt you in ways that you can't even imagine. And it's not nefarious. It's just you work there long enough, you know exactly what things look like.
I was going to say, is that not the blackmail is pretty nefarious?
No, it's not a blackmail. It's just be nice to your postal carrier because they know stuff. Envelopes with no writing on it. Manila envelopes.
Uh-huh.
Wonder what's in there. I got an idea. I think I know. It's that thing Nancy Reagan talked about all the time.
Aha. That's what you're talking about. I was trying to figure out where he's going with this.
Oh, I have some wonderful stories of my time at the post office. Things I have seen. Things I have personally witnessed.
Uh-huh.
A couple things that actually happened to me. Be nice to your mail person.
Yes.
Not that they're bad people and that they would try to blackmail you. Not saying that.
Mm-hmm.
Just they know stuff.
They know stuff.
They know stuff.
They know stuff about you, and if you don't pay them,
stop
they
paying
can
them.
shut you
Just
down.
be nice to them. Don't record them with your stupid Ring doorbell throwing a T-shirt. Be nice to your postal person.
Mm-hmm.
That job is not for the weak of heart. Just saying.
We all know. There's a reason there's a saying around that job. We know. You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, putting a bow on week 1 of the preseason. Any more general reactions that you had?
Nothing that made me jump up and down. I mean, it's been all of the things that we have discussed in this here program.
Mm-hmm.
Justin Fields, Sechrist out.
Off.
Trey Lance, Sechrist not out. Jacksonville Jaguars. That's one we haven't talked about.
Okay.
I am getting more and more and more and more convinced that team is better than we think. It just looks different. Mm-hmm. It just passes the eyeball test.
Mm-hmm.
With Travis Etienne, he's different. James Robinson will still have a role, but having a player that Trevor Lawrence is comfortable with behind a line that, no matter what you think about it, is better than what he had last year, and there's no Urban Meyer. I think that's the team that we may have overlooked.
But not Cincinnati Bengals level.
No, nobody will do that. I hate getting asked that question because it's happened exactly one time in 30 years.
And now that it's happened, everybody expects it's going to happen each and every year, and that's not going to be the case.
It's not.
But Jacksonville's offense will run better under Doug Peterson. I don't think there was any question of that. They could have added no one, and I would have thought the offense is going to run better than it did last year. But you add in a guy like Christian Kirk, who is pretty darn good, and, you know, you're going to see that this team is better. And, of course, it doesn't hurt that they have, you know, all of the dogs on defense.
I don't really know what to do with it. We have breaking news.
Okay.
I don't know what to do with it.
Who's gonna break the news? Who's
It's always funny.
Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news?
This just came out a few minutes ago, and I didn't see it until now. The standoff between the Chicago Bears and Roquan Smith has taken a very bizarre turn.
Okay.
Apparently, he's being represented by a man named Saint Omni.
Mm-hmm.
There's only one problem with that. He's not an agent.
Okay.
A memo has been circulated across the league that he is in no way allowed to represent Mr. Smith, and that any negotiations should immediately come to a halt. This is a weird story. if you're wanting to get traded, why do you bring in some random guy that's not certified by the NFLPA?
Mm-hmm.
That makes absolutely no sense.
Don't know. I have no idea. We had been told that Roquan Smith was representing himself.
And he was. Apparently, he reached out to this Omni person. And now he's been making calls around the league on behalf of Roquan Smith.
You can't do that.
No, you can't do that. And it's a big deal, too.
Why is it such a big deal?
There are a lot of sanctions that can happen. More of them would happen to the agent than the player.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't have just some random person representing you.
I know that's always been the deal with the league and the PA is that we have certified agents. Certified agents that can speak on behalf of players. You have to go through all of the legal stuff with the NFL. I'm sure there's training courses and educational courses and all that kind of stuff that you have to pass, tests and things. But, yeah, it's weird. That he would just reach
bizarre.
out to some guy. Like, does it give any background on what this guy did? Or
Nope. Just says that there has been contact between teams, which is not allowed, and teams will be punished if it continues. That is a very bizarre story.
Mm-hmm.
In our YouTube comments, Colin asked me, I need your thoughts on the rookie defensive ends. Okay. Drake Jackson, dog. I don't know that I'm more confident in my first name than I am that Drake Jackson is going to be real good. I liked what Karlaftis did. Kayvon Thibodeau is going to take some time because he's not comfortable playing in the scheme. But, I mean, you can see that the talent is very obvious. But I think it'll take some time. Obviously, haven't seen a Jabo yet. Nobody else that really just jumped off the page to me, but Drake Jackson did.
Mm-hmm.
Watching that San Francisco game, every time I heard his name, it was a burst play.
I mean, I feel like I know he's not a defensive end, but Trayvon Walker. Trayvon has looked good.
He has.
He's gotten several pressures in both of his appearances so far in the preseason.
He has. I mean, look, nobody ever doubted that he was a talented player.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to figure out where to play him. And I think that's going to be...
Well, he's always going to play on the edge.
He is, and I'm not sure that that's the right way to do this. I've said this about Jacksonville. One of the things that bothers me is that they have copious amounts of talent. They just seem to be playing it all in very strange places.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Doug Peterson knows more than I do. He knows that roster better than I do. So, in Doug, I trust because I saw a lot of good things that
I've just always felt with Trayvon that you have talked about how you don't necessarily want him standing up, but also if I'm coming at it from I'm his new coach, I don't want a guy with that much freakish athletic ability. I don't know that I want him with his hand in the dirt. I don't know that I want him on that front line. I want him to be able to use all of his versatility and his moves.
And I get that. I was never sold on the fit.
Mm-hmm.
Satisfied Browns fan asked, Beard, which offensive line did you like? There were two that really jumped off the page to me.
It wasn't the Minnesota Vikings.
No, it wasn't. It was the New York Giants
and
the Detroit Lions. I am reasonably sure you could have driven a hearse through some of the holes that offensive line opened up.
Mm-hmm.
And in a preseason game, look, you get into effort things. Who wants it more? Who cares more? I get that. Detroit is the Jacksonville Jaguars of the NFC. I'm becoming more and more sure that I was right about them. May not translate to wins, but the foundation there is phenomenal.
And just when you thought you couldn't love Dan Campbell more, have you seen Hard Knocks?
I have.
Did you see the first episode?
I saw Aiden Hutchinson do Billie Jean, which was tremendous.
That was very hilarious. But, yeah, Dan Campbell out there doing the up-down drills with his offense, like that is just run through a brick wall with that guy.
He is certainly a guy that you understand why his players really like him.
Absolutely.
Alex Majabi asked in the YouTube comments, rookie running backs. Apparently, we're just going to go through positions. So
all right.
That's fine. I figured it out 2 positions ago. I liked James Cook in the little bit that I saw. The thing that makes me nervous, they had him returning kicks. That is a weird thing if you're expecting him to be a very integral part of your offense early. I'm going to say this with absolutely no analysis whatsoever. Just take my word for it. Ken Walker III, Ken Walker III, Ken Walker III. Do with that what you want to.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't, you'll regret it. Rashad Penny is less than irrelevant. Walker has already passed him. It is not close, and Penny's hurt again.
Wonderful.
Other guys that I just saw, I mean, obviously we talked about Dameon Pierce earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I liked a little bit of what I saw to Brian Robinson. He's a third rotational back. I'm going to like Breece Hall when all of the things come together, but I was not wild about what I saw. I wasn't wild about anything I saw from the Jets.
I'll throw out my guy, Zamir White. He's looked good. Of course, the Raiders are going to be maddening because you saw what Josh Jacobs did not play.
No.
And
that was almost like that felt to me like Josh McDaniels going, okay, can you shut up about this?
Right.
He's the one. We're setting him down. Just, okay, go somewhere.
Right. But they still played 4 running backs in that game and all combined for, 140 yards? And Zamir looked good, doing all of the things out of the backfield.
2 names that did completely different things over the weekend. Ty Chandler of the Minnesota Vikings. He looks like a dude. Now, I don't know where they're going to use him because he is their 4th running back.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know how you can keep him off the field with just some of the small things I've seen. I'm not saying he's going to eat into Dalvin Cook, but I could see him eating into Alexander Madison and Isaiah Pacheco. You cannot be that bad running the ball and hyping up the rookie and then just go, banish you to the bench. Because Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Ronald Jones Jr., they are bad.
Mm-hmm.
Bad.
And you throw in, who's the other one that they got there?
Jarek McKinnon. He didn't play over the weekend.
Yeah, Jarek McKinnon and Darrell Williams?
No, Darrell Williams is in Arizona. He's the backup to James Conner.
All right.
Another player that I'm running away from like he's on fire.
We knew Kansas City was not going to be able to run the ball.
Something that I do want to do on tomorrow's show. NFL.com put out their top 100 players list.
Mm-hmm.
They got to 50. Some of them made me very angry.
All right, so big beef with the top 100. We'll do that tomorrow on the program. Right here in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. When we come back from the break, yeah, Jeremy's going to be mad.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is time and go 26 westbound between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. An accident near Airport Road has the right lane closed. Onlooker delay has 26 eastbound slowing between Long Shoals Road to approaching Airport Road. 40 westbound Haywood County stop and go after US 276 and before Fines Creek Road. Sweeten Creek Road, north and southbound, approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. Hendersonville Road moving well. Smoky Park Highway, northbound, approaching Sand Hill Road, a few light delays. I'm Lyndon Field with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Warehouse of Asheville.
It's the Labor Day sale at Mattress Warehouse. Save up to $1,000. Plus, get free next-day delivery. Don't lose sleep over it with mattresses starting at just $99. Get 0% interest financing and a 1-year price guarantee. Visit Mattress Warehouse.
Hi, I'm Chad Greenway. After retiring from the NFL, I've embraced my new role coaching my kids in their youth sports. Our Youth Basketball Association made the decision to use trusted coaches to train, screen, and educate all of our basketball coaches. Visit trustedcoaches.org to learn more. I'm a trusted coach. Are you?
Are you sick and tired of that constant pain in your knees or hips or back? Especially this time of year. You need to be moving pain-free, right? Just contact the team at QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics is helping people here every day, giving them lasting pain relief, using the latest advances in regenerative medicine. The science is simple. They concentrate your own body's healing agents and apply them to your aching joints, restoring and repairing damaged tissue with no drugs, no steroids, and no surgery. Listen, the old remedies for pain are not the only remedies you need. Learn more about how regenerative medicine at QC Kinetics can change your life. Make this the last summer you suffer from chronic pain. They've got clinics here and all over America. This is the exciting, new, natural way to deal with joint pain with no side effects and no downtime. Call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation. 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. Locations in Asheville and Greenville. 828-333-9517 in Asheville and Greenville.
Roots and wings. The two greatest gifts any parent can give their kid. But when it's time for them to head off to college, there's also groceries, laundry detergent, notebook paper, ironing instructions, and futons that assemble with parts left over. At Ingles, we have all the comforts of home right around the corner. We know that life's biggest steps are best taken with faith and trust in the ones you love the most. Ingles, all the ingredients for family.
When I finally drove the old car into the grave, I knew there was only one place I was going to go. Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville, home of the family plan. And yes, they treat you like family. I went in, told them what I was looking for, told them my budget, and in no time, I was signing the paperwork on my certified pre-owned vehicle. They have the area's largest selection on quality pre-owned vehicles and certified Nissans. They go through a 167-point inspection, so you know it's not going to let you down. They gave me the Carfax report, so I know the history of my vehicle. And the Fred Anderson family plan gives me things like oil changes and car washes and loaner cars if I have to have major work done on the car in the future. For me, buying a car has always been an intimidating thought. But the folks at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville made it super easy. Don't be like me. Don't wait till the last minute to get a deal done. Go to AndersonNissan.com or stop by the showroom at 629 Brevard Road. And don't forget to mention we sent you from the Sportsocracy and get a $250 bonus on your trade-in at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
Dirty Turkish shark back flat.
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take this anymore.
Shark back flat.
Let the hate flow through you.
When I used to hire people, I would often say, dress for the job you want, not necessarily the job you're interviewing for. I also said if you're completely not qualified, you should put your best foot forward, show up in a suit. Because if you show up in cut-off jeans, it's only going to make me more negative of the deficiencies on your resume. Which brings me to the Chicago Bears. I could understand if a real grass field in December through the absolute crucial winter of Chicago wasn't up to snuff. It's really embarrassing when it happens before you played a game. What do you think it's going to look like in December? You've been rallying about a stadium and all these different things. You can't even get the field right. God, you are such a ridiculous franchise. And the more you do these things, the easier it is to hammer you. I honestly have gotten to a point that I feel bad for Justin Fields, that you have to deal with this dog water franchise that drafted you and ruined your career before it ever started. I'm mad.
Chicago Bears are god-awful, and they can't even put grass on the field.
It was a joke. Mm-hmm. I saw this on Twitter and went, you're overreacting. You had a concert. Maybe there's some dead spots. There were completely barren places that you're asking your team to play in the preseason. Mm-hmm. That's pathetic. Do better.
I saw even J.C. Treader stepping up there, the former leader of the NFL Players Association, and we know how he feels about grass fields. Hates the turf, loves the grass. Even he was taking shots at the Chicago Bears for the preparation of their, or the lack thereof.
It's embarrassing when your franchise player, who needs every advantage you can possibly give them, was quoted as saying, to be honest, last year I used our home field as an advantage because I knew how our grass was. Are you kidding me?
Mm-hmm.
What a joke.
Who's going to win the quarterback battle in Seattle? Will it be Geno Smith? Or will it be Drew Lock?
There's something up there. I just can't figure out what it is. Every person I have talked to has said it is absolutely, unequivocally obvious that Drew Lock is the better of the two quarterbacks. Mm-hmm. And Pete Carroll seems absolutely resigned to starting Geno Smith.
Well, it must be it must be a trust factor. He trusts Geno more than he trusts Lock. Geno was there last year. Geno helped him get through when Russell Wilson was hurt.
What I think is a possibility is they start Geno for probably the first 6 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
To get the rookie running back acclimated. You're going to have two, most likely, rookie offensive tackles. Get those guys acclimated with the vet. If you throw Drew Lock out there, it's entirely possible that the protections are wrong and he accidentally gets himself killed. I would say by mid-year, it is 75% or higher that Drew Lock is the starter Seattle Seahawks.
Well, whoever's going to win that job, they are loading up on weapons because they made a trade.
Oh, Lord.
They've made a trade. They're bringing in.
I don't know who this is. Who is the most irrelevant? Was it Denzel Mims? Please tell me we traded Denzel Mims.
It was not Denzel Mims.
Oh!
No, this player comes from the Philadelphia Eagles.
Jalen Reagor.
Nope.
J.J. Arcega-Whiteside.
J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. We have a winner. Yes,
Wow.
the wide receiver turned tight end is
What did they give up? A plane ticket?
No, it was actually a player-for-player deal. They gave up Ugo Amadi, defensive end, who was a rotational piece for the defense. He is going to Philadelphia, and now J.J. Arcega-Whiteside is going to get a second chance with the Seattle Seahawks.
This is like a fifth chance. He is bad at the footballs.
You were all on that hype train, don't you lie.
Oh, I mean, look, I miss guys. I miss that guy. Here's what he taught me, though. Being able to run a route is rather important because he could not.
They say that they are going to use him as a hybrid receiver / tight end. So he'll be, what, the fifth tight end that they have on that team now? Jeez.
Sweet.
How many tight ends can you run at once?
You do, Seattle. Just have a day. Let's come out and run the wishbone.
I was going to say, can we do 4 tight end sets? Is that a thing?
I am so unbelievably excited for this football season.
I am as
There
well.
are so many things across the preseason over the weekend. There were so many things to be excited about with so many teams, which is another reason that we are very excited that this is our first year of the Battle for the Belt. $20 donation to Eblen Charities. That's all it takes. You get into our best ball fantasy football leagues. You also get into our Battle for the Belt, which somebody in Beer City is going to walk away as Beer City's first fantasy football champion. And you will take the belt away from me.
DFS contest running throughout the season, and the belt will go to the champion with the most points at the end of the year.
Forever. You don't have to give it back. It becomes yours forever. And I have to hand it to you, which should really be the ultimate in bragging rights.
Oh, it's going to be. I can't wait to see Jeremy have to hand this thing over.
Oh, I mean, it won't be to you.
No, of course it's not going to be to me. I'm going to play because, I'm part of the show.
Here's
Name's
what
on the door. I get to play.
Here's what I'm going to say. If I win it, don't be shocked if my new attire is a sequined robe that says Mullet Man Jeremy Greene with my big gold belt around my waist. Just saying.
Nice.
Yeah, if you think you can beat me, maybe you should hop in there. Talk a little smack. Big fan.
You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Get in on the Battle for the Belt. The link is in the description of the YouTube video right now.
It will also be on Facebook after the show with all of the names of the people that are in it, and we will keep doing that until we have the dance card as filled as we can possibly have it. We have a goal of 500. We know that's aggressive, but we know the people that listen to this show. We know for charity you guys will show out as you always do. The Sportsocracy on Facebook, the website, all the things.
And you want to dominate your fantasy draft, don't forget to go to patreon.com/thesportsocracy, and you can join one of the tiers. That can get you into the Battle for the Belt contest as well. I believe that's the gold purchase. We'll get you into the Battle for the Belt.
Stephen tells that as long as there's something under the robe, there won't be.
But it will also give you Jeremy's Mullet money-making fantasy draft kit to help you dominate this year.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Now, most of the thunderstorms tonight setting up shop to our east and heading away from us. Our low tonight 63 in the valley, some 50s with elevation. Chance for some hit-and-miss showers and comfortable temperatures the rest of the week with highs in the 70s, lows in the 50s and 60s. Looks like the best rain chances come in Wednesday for midweek. Could see some quarter-inch rainfall midweek on Wednesday. I'm meteorologist Scott Lariamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is crawling 26 westbound between Airport Road to approaching Long Shoals Road due to an accident. The right lane blocked. Onlooker delay has 26 westbound slowing between Long Shoals Road to approaching Airport Road. 40 westbound crawling in Haywood County after US 276 and before Fines Creek Road. The right lane closed in this stretch east of Jonathan Creek Road due to an accident. On Hendersonville Road, no problem. Sweeten Creek Road, delay-free. I'm Lindenfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Allstate. Are you a safe driver? Are you looking to save money? With DriveWise from Allstate, the safer you drive, the more you can save. At Allstate, better protection costs a whole lot less. Visit allstate.com or call an agent for a quote today.
It's the Best Pro Shops night race at Bristol Motor Speedway. And it's a cutoff race in the NASCAR playoffs. You remember what happened last year, right? September 17th. Go to bristolmotorspeedway.com and get your tickets before they're gone.
From the